with me. I've got a world to show you. Let it take you by wonder. Listen closely. The sounds of the rivers call for you, and the rainforest too. Here is where legends come alive and cultures thrive. Here is our paradise. Homeland, stories that lies in the roots of our soil, like pieces of gold. There's more in the mountains and seas. There's more in the rhythm and melodies. Open your arms and embrace the land. Let me take your hand. This is our paradise. There's more to discover. Sarah, there's
That's awesome. Thank you, God. That would be great. That's awesome. Thank you, God. That would be great. That's awesome. Thank you, God. That would be great.
Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite the guests to be seated as the event begins. Please make sure that all guests have registered as leaders for the computer.
That would be great.
Also, please make sure your mobile phone. Assalamu alaikum
That's
and very
awesome.
good morning. While the event starts, I would like to invite Attention everyone, I would like to invite all the guests to be seated as the event will begin soon. Please make sure that all guests have registered as legal representatives. Attention everyone, I would like to invite all the guests to be seated as the event will begin soon. Please make sure that all guests have registered as legal representatives. Attention everyone, I would like to invite all the guests to be seated as the event will begin soon. Please make sure that all guests have registered as legal representatives. Attention everyone, I would like to invite all the guests to be seated as the event will begin soon. Please make sure that all guests have registered as legal representatives. Attention everyone, I would like to invite all the guests to be seated as the event will begin soon. Please make sure that all guests have registered as legal representatives.
Good morning and welcome to the land of the Hornbills, Sarawak, Malaysia. A land filled with natural beauty and cultural diversity. My name is Ibrahim.
And my name is Sadia. And we're very happy to receive all of
Good
you
morning
here at
and welcome to
Borneo
the land of the
Convention
Hornbills,
Center, Kuching,
Sarawak, Malaysia.
for the 18th International
Land filled
Conference of
with
Clean
natural beauty
Energy
and cultural diversity.
2022.
My name is Ibrahim. Over the following
my
days, you'll
name
have
is
plenty of
Sadia.
opportunities
And
to
we're
share
very
knowledge
happy
and
to receive
insights.
all of you here at
It's
Borneo
very exciting
Convention
that we have
Center,
many
Kuching,
participants from all
for
over the
the
world.
18th International Conference of Clean Energy. On behalf of ICCE Committee, we wish you a pleasant stay here in Sarawak, Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a glorious opportunity to mix and mingle with fellow scholars from all parts of the world. Please welcome the people around you with Selamat Pagi, or in other words, good morning. Ladies and
Please
gentlemen,
take this
today we
opportunity
have a
to exchange
glorious
contact with the
opportunity
fellow neighbor
to
around
mix
you.
and mingle with fellow. Before we begin, let's pay attention to the safety briefing. Welcome the people around you with Selamat Pagi, or in other words, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen.
Borneo Convention Center Kuching, BCCK, the first internationally recognized convention center in Sarawak, is currently the largest premier event space of East Malaysia. At BCCK, we observe strict health and security protocols to ensure the safety and well-being of all guests while meeting the needs of each event. Our staff are trained to respond in any emergency situation. Please remain attentive and take note of our fire alarms and security warnings. Should the fire alarm sound, do not panic and calmly evacuate the building by proceeding to the nearest emergency exit. During an evacuation, do not use the elevators or escalators. Always exit via the stairways. Floor wardens will direct all guests and staff to the emergency assembly areas. Please note that all areas within the building are a non-smoking zone. Smoking is only permitted within designated areas. The first aid room is located on level 2. At BCCK, your well-being is important to us. Thank you for your kind attention. At BCCK,
Distinguished
your
guests,
well-being is
ladies and
important to
gentlemen,
us.
without further ado,
Thank you
let's
for your
kickstart
kind
this
attention.
conference. Please give a warm round of applause to the chairman of ICE 2022, Young Berbahagia, Professor Madia, Dr. Anwar Johari, for the welcoming speech. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's kickstart this conference. Please give a warm round of applause to the chairman of ICE 2022, Young
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Yang berbahagia Prof. Dr. Rossi Ilyas, Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation of University Technology Malaysia. Yang berbahagia Prof. Dr. Wan Hashim Wan Ibrahim, Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation of University Malaysia Sarawak. Yang berbahagia Prof. Dr. Ashar Ahmad, Director of Institute of Future Energy, University Technology Malaysia. ladies and gentlemen. It is with a delighted heart that I welcome you all, presenters and participants of the light, to the International Conference on Clean Energy 2022 here at the Borneo Convention Center, Kuching, Sarawak. This conference serves a medium for university researchers, policymakers, and industry players to express themselves about a more sustainable and greener energy system. Ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, I would like to give the utmost thanks to the Clean Energy Research Institute, Sherry of University of Miami, for their overwhelming support for this endeavor. And also, this gratitude is extended to Sarawak Convention Bureau, SCB, and also Malaysia Convention and Exhibition Bureau, MICEB. Without their contribution, this conference would not have been possible. Ladies and gentlemen, in recent years, it has been a shared concern as how energy can take a more sustainable path for the future of the Earth, as well as ever-growing problems of carbon emission in the atmosphere. Malaysia, more than ever, needs to adapt and overcome these problems, and the best way for us is via implementing clean energy systems. That is why all of us are here, gathered here in BCCK, to encourage discussion about solving problems related to the over-dependency of fossil fuels and collaboration between universities and private sectors on topic of clean energy sources. Ladies and gentlemen, the spill effect of organizing this event would be felt in areas related to energy sectors. Such industries are the backbone of the nation's aspiration towards fully developed nation. Key players in energy sectors and technology providers are gathering here to participate in this event. Policymakers would find this event meaningful to address issues associated with pollution abatement, mitigation of environmental disaster, particularly concerning air pollution control technologies. This event would also enlighten the policymakers on the state-of-the-art technologies and for drafting and also amending existing regulation. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I would like to extend my deepest gratitude on behalf of the committee towards everyone here who is present today, who have tirelessly worked and showed their effort in the planning of a greener and cleaner energy system to thrive. For you are the key components in making this event possible. With that, I thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman of ICCE 2022, for that warm, welcoming speech. Please, participants, give one more round of applause to young Berbahagia, Professor Madya Dr. Anwar Johari, for that inspiring speech. Thank you, Chairman of
Now,
ICCE
call on the
2022,
Director of
for that
Institute
warm,
for Future
welcoming
Energy,
speech.
Young
Please,
Berbahagia, Professor
participants, give
Dr.
one
Arshad
more
Ahmed,
round of
for the
applause
introduction
to
of the
young
first plenary
Berbahagia,
speakers.
Professor
Let's put our
Madya
hands
Dr.
together
Anwar
for
Johari,
Professor Dr.
for
Arshad
that
Ahmed.
inspiring speech. Thank you, Chairman of ICCE
Call on the
2022,
Director of
for that
Institute
warm,
for Future
welcoming
Energy,
speech.
Young
Please,
Berbahagia, Professor
participants,
Dr.
give one
Arshad
more
Ahmed,
round of
for the
applause
introduction
to
of the
young
first
Berbahagia,
plenary speakers.
Professor
Let's put our
Madya
hands
Dr.
Okay,
together for
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Professor
wabarakatuh.
Dr. Arshad Ahmed.
Okay, welcome everybody. Let's get started. So before we start with our first plenary session this morning, let me introduce to you briefly uh, the honorable speaker of today for the first session, none other than technologist Samsul Baha Muhammad Noor, who is currently the Chief Executive Officer of Malaysian Green Technology and Climate Change Corporation, MGTC, which is the primary driver for the green technology and climate change development under the purview of Ministry of the Environment and Water, Malaysia. Prior to joining MGTC, technologist Samsul Baha has a long history of involvement in the private sector, which includes he was the Vice President for the Sustainable Business Network Association in Malaysia, and also the chairman of the Green Project Management Awards, Managing Director of the Syngas Renewable Energy, and Executive Director of Saham Utama, and also the CEO of Polymal Corporation, along least if I were to continue. So in 2014, Technologies Samsul Baha was awarded a patent approval in 40 countries for a renewable energy system that converts waste plastics into commercial ultra-low sulfur diesel oil, winning him the Mosty Innovation Award of the Year, Malaysian Green Technology Corporation Catalyst Award, and the United Nations Global Clean Tech Innovation Award for Green Technology and Renewable System. So basically, we have a speaker who is very experienced in the field, and he will be talking about the future in the development of hydrogen technology in Malaysia, and also he holds a bachelor in mechanical engineering from University of Portland, United States, and applied physics and minor in mathematics from Linfield College, United States. Ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, without further ado, let's welcome Technology Samsul Baha, Muhammad Noor, who will be talking about and explaining to us about the future of hydrogen technology in Malaysia in a paper entitled Visioning a Hydrogen Economy for Malaysia. Welcome. Muhammad Noor, who will be talking about and explaining to us about the future of hydrogen technology in Malaysia in a paper
Assalamualaikum,
Visioning a Hydrogen Economy
fellow
for Malaysia.
panelists, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to be here today, especially in Sarawak, and also give me great pleasure to be the first speaker to set the tone going for the whole conference. Sarawak is blessed by having renewable energy as a source of energy in providing electricity to the state. And my session today, I would like to share with you on how Malaysia could be the global hub of hydrogen production. Can I have the next slide, please? This is what we're looking at. This is a society that would be utilizing hydrogen, producing hydrogen, and as well as all of the sectors will be powered by hydrogen. And great enough, Sarawak have already started. They are driving the hydrogen economy for the whole of Malaysia. And what they have produced and what they will produce. And just last week, they have signed with Petronas to develop and produce hydrogen in Bintulu. And this is an effort that the whole nation needs to pool all resources and make it a reality to be a fully fledged hydrogen society. Now, next slide. Back in 2011, sorry, before that, what is hydrogen economy? It is an economy that relies on hydrogen as a commercial fuel. They would deliver sustainable supply of the nation energy and services now. But hydrogen production need to come from domestic sources. You have to produce hydrogen in order to become a hydrogen society. Now, next slide. In 2011, there was an earthquake that shook this part of the globe. And it created tsunami in Japan, and it affected the Fukushima Daiichi plant, nuclear plant. And what it does, it is a wake-up call for the Japanese government to look for another source of energy to power up the whole nation. And what they did was that they started to coin it the Hydrogen Society. And 10 years later, they have delivered an Olympic game that is powered by hydrogen. That was the Tokyo Olympic Games just recently held. So it took them 10 years, but the work is still in progress. And what they're visioning is that by 2040, the whole nation will be relying on hydrogen as a source of energy. And then this is what Malaysia needs as well, to be a sustainable nation. We just couldn't rely on fossil fuel. We couldn't rely on coal. Even though we have abundance of coal, they would last centuries. But again, we need a clean energy to power up the operations and the requirement especially for the energy sector and the transportation sector. So what it does in Japan, for the next slide, um, they have three phases of the hydrogen society. Number one is they have to extend the fuel cell program. You have to develop your own fuel cell because this is a core to utilizing hydrogen for vehicle, utilizing hydrogen for the industry. And the second phase is to introduce a large-scale production of hydrogen. It is vital, but what Japan does, they are looking at areas and regions throughout neighboring countries that could assist them in producing hydrogen. And yes, Malaysia is one of them. And the third phase is to establish a zero carbon emission hydrogen supply system throughout the manufacturing process. So this is the planning that Japanese government did. And what they have done is to ensure that by 2040 they can realize that dream. But what we have seen in last year's Olympic was that it can be realized, and if you put all efforts in, you can actually establish that. Next. Now, the objective of the Hydrogen Society is to transform the Japanese energy supply, distribution, and use toward wide-scale uptake of fuel cell and technology, and hydrogen as the energy carrier, and ultimately as the renewable source of energy through carbon-free hydrogen production technology. And the target is by 2040, they will establish a carbon dioxide-free hydrogen supply system. Now, but how do you do that? And which sector that you have to actually start with? The energy sector as well as transportation sector. Because energy sector is the one that contribute most to the carbon dioxide emission. And Malaysia to be a net zero greenhouse gas emission nation by 2050, this is the direction we should set as well. And how to implement it? Can I have the previous slide, please? And how to implement it? We need a government, the government to get involved. We need the industry to get involved. We need the academia to get involved. And also we need private and public funding. This is vital. This is core in any sort of project because universities are an important factor in determining the introduction of new technology, the research that can be done at university, and to commercialize them. So the organization organizing the organizer organizing the conference for clean energy is very vital because we have to collectively voice out our demand for utilizing hydrogen in Malaysia. Next, please. Now, it is a huge investment and huge potential stream of revenue as well. And with this sort of investment globally, you're just looking at a few percent that we could establish in Malaysia, we can have a sustainable form of energy carrier, which is hydrogen, to sustain Malaysia. And Malaysia being a nation that have loads of sunshine, you could utilize and produce hydrogen from solar. We have abundant of river basin, we have water bodies that could produce hydrogen as well. So this is where we are. This is what we need to do in Malaysia. Next. And if you look at the graph, the investment for energy storage in hydrogen and fuel cell is increasing. That particular gray segment, it is growing. And today is 2022. And the talk of the countries, especially Japan and Korea, and also Germany, they're pushing towards hydrogen. What happened during Ukraine war is just an example to show that you couldn't depend on fossil fuel. When you have the difficulty in bringing in fuel from Russia to Europe, what they have done in Germany, they have reverted back to coal, which is like turning back the clock. They are pushing for clean energy, but they are still relying on coal. But if they were to produce hydrogen, then they wouldn't be relying on the fossil fuel to generate electricity. So the lot of investment are being put in place for hydrogen, and as well as in Malaysia, as I mentioned earlier on, Petronas are really pushing for the production of green hydrogen in Malaysia. They have blue, but they're pushing for green. So a lot of investment are being placed for hydrogen. Next, the generation of hydrogen comes from the form of from solar, from wind, from OTEC, ocean thermal energy conversion, as well as from biogas. There are almost like 35 pome plants from palm oil plant from palm oil mills in Malaysia and in Sabah. Throughout Malaysia, there's about 300 plus palm oil mills, and all of those pome could and would produce hydrogen through steam methane reforming. So it is an abundant source on how to produce hydrogen, and it can be done easily in Malaysia. Why? Because we have the natural resources available. Next. These are uh, map of Malaysia, and you can see there are various places that we could be producing hydrogen. No doubt that blue hydrogen is being produced by Petronas now, but you look at the other areas where you have palm oil mill effluent, where you have OTEC up in Sabah, and Malaysia is blessed by having two sites in Malaysia, especially in Sabah, that you could produce OTEC. And OTEC is a perpetual sort of energy supply. Um, so we have the source, we have the abundance of potential. So how to tap and how to bring in investors, this is the key challenge that we should be looking at. And we have a few potential investors here as well. So if we are being, we can drive this the whole nation to be geared up towards producing hydrogen, then we can pull them through. And congratulations to to the government of Sarawak. They have started it, and I understand that they will be producing the largest production of hydrogen in the world in Sarawak pretty soon. Next. These are the players. These are the players that we're looking at. We have the potential, we have the ability, we have the means to generate hydrogen. And it is a matter of having a single voice. If perhaps the government could set up a hydrogen council to be chaired by the Prime Minister, then this would actually accelerate the move towards hydrogen. Next. So now again, looking back at what Japan have done, um, are we producing? Are we doing research on fuel cell? Yes, we are. Next slide, please. I just put a check on that. Number two, are we introducing the hydrogen power generation? Yes, Sarawak is driving towards producing hydrogen, a huge scale of hydrogen production. Next. And also, would we be establishing a zero carbon emission hydrogen supply? Yes, we are. So we have all of this factor in that we can become a huge, making a huge impact in the supply of hydrogen, as well as utilizing hydrogen as a mean of energy. Next. So what do we actually require? We need the government to have policies, to have acts and regulation. We need the technology. You have OTEC, we have solar, we have biogas, we have hydro, we have excess water that we could produce hydrogen. We have the enablers, both local and foreign. We have off-takers. There are several talks coming from different countries around the globe looking at the Borneo Island itself to generate hydrogen. So we have our off-takers, and the demand is ever increasing. Do we have the funding? We do have the funding. So it is, as I will share in the next few slides, where the 12 Malaysia plan has spelled out that hydrogen is one of the key factor for sustainability. And but we need now is for the public to understand that hydrogen is safe. In Sarawak, they have two buses as well as three hydrogen vehicle, and they will be increasing that to 500 vehicle. Imagine that. hydrogen vehicle roaming on the street. And also Sarawak and the Petros, they have just started to have their first hydrogen refilling station in Daruhana, in Kuching, and they will be having four more stations throughout Sarawak, from Kuching to Limbang. So this is a very healthy drive towards establishing Sarawak as the hydrogen society. And what I do understand, that Petronas is also looking to produce in situ production hydrogen at all of the kiosks and making it directly producing there, so you don't have to transport hydrogen from one kiosk to another. Next. Um, by 2050, you look at the hydrogen segment there, it is increasing. So the whole world is looking at it. And where is fossil fuel? Where is oil? It is shrinking. So if we can make our stand now, we can start with producing hydrogen, and collectively each universities will be looking at it. Um, we could be able to become a force to be reckoned with. Next. In most of the papers and studies coming from a lot of organizations, they are looking at hydrogen, green hydrogen especially, as the driver to produce hydrogen, because you can have blue, you can have gray, but again, to decarbonize ourselves as a net zero greenhouse gas emission, we need hydrogen as a source of fuel. Next. This has been produced by the Asia Pacific Energy Research Center back in 2018, looking at the whole Asia Pacific region. Um, Thank you. The whole Asia Pacific region. Um, how to reduce and the release of carbon dioxide is by going to hydrogen. I got to speed up my slides. Just a few more. Next, please. We have a lot of policies already being crafted out by the government, federal government. Next. And you look at the energy automotive policy, we are looking at the utilizing hydrogen fuel cell technology to the maximum. Next. Under the Chua Malaysia Plan, we also spell out that utilizing hydrogen is important, and we have the funding to actually push through. Next. You talk about the green initiative where hydrogen is there, the enhancing green mobility, formulating comprehensive national energy plan. We mentioned hydrogen throughout the 12th Malaysia Plan. So we and the government understood well the demand. So what we need is more technologies to be provided in, and more companies to invest in Malaysia. Next. Um, this is to decarbonize. We have the electrification of the segments of the industry, but to to have a a higher impact to the nation, we need to go towards the clean energy, which is hydrogen. Next. And what do we need in Malaysia? Number one is to be a cornerstone for new energy economy in Malaysia, and Malaysia to take the lead among ASEAN countries on hydrogen supply chain and shift from moderate to high sufficient trade in APEC economies. And number three is Malaysia to invest in R&D, the infrastructure projects of hydrogen technologies to address domestic consumption, stability, and security of energies, sustaining international energy trading, reduce dependency on importing economies, and decarbonize emission. And the last slide shows it all. Thank you very much. So what we do is that we need to actually ensure that we decarbonize our nation by 2050, and the way to go is to use energy, which is energy carrier, which is hydrogen. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum. So what we do is that we need to actually ensure that we decarbonize our nation by 2050, and the way to go is to use energy,
Thank you
which
very
is
much,
energy carrier, which is
Technology
hydrogen.
Samsul
Thank you very
Bah.
much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, uh, we are ahead of time. Very lucky. So we can have more questions. So can we start with the first one? Thank you very much, Technology Samsul Bah. Okay,
I hope it's
ladies
not
and
too early in
gentlemen,
the morning, no, for question and answers.
ahead of time. Very light. Okay, so please introduce yourselves and ask question.
With the first one. Thank you for the presentation. I'm from University of Technology, KL. So I just
I hope
have
it's not
one
too early in the
question
morning, no,
that
for question
the
and answers.
economy is not about only cars,
Okay,
but also there
please
are
introduce
metal
yourselves and
and glass
ask
and
question.
concrete in it. So then if we want to increase or to start processing these things, then we need more hydrogen. Then my question is the renewable energy is enough to produce that much hydrogen? Because then I don't want to end up using fossil fuels to produce more hydrogen to fulfill the demands. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, you're right. There are other industries beside transportation that require hydrogen to fuel up. Now, what Malaysia have, we have hydropower, and hydropower is easily that it is green and you can produce hydrogen, as what Sarawak is producing. In Sarawak, have about 10 dams, and just Bakun alone, they're producing about 2.4 gigawatt, and they have a capacity of another 1.2 gigawatt to generate other means of energy, which is hydrogen. We have abundant of sunlight, yes, but we also have the biomass. And I just visited one plant in Kedah just a few days back. And what they produce, they have the power plant that runs on biogas. Okay, but this is just one aspect of the production of utilizing biogas. Um, Through steam methane reforming, you can produce hydrogen. So Malaysia being an agriculture nation, we have abundant of agriculture waste that could be producing hydrogen as well. So not just looking at solar, because solar you can only harvest it for 4 hours. You still need a battery or maybe put it in the grid. But putting in the grid, you'll be mixing it with a coal-fired power plant. So looking at other source of production of hydrogen, OTEC is one. And we could realize that you can have a huge potential, maybe what, 200, 300 megawatt of energy coming from our tech. So in Malaysia, we have all of those. And yes, once you produce hydrogen, because hydrogen is not an energy, it's a carrier, you could be transporting it to the industry and producing, yes, as what you're saying, glass, concrete, and such. So, but we need clean energy. So that's for sure. Thank you.
Okay, we can have another question. Yes.
You could be transporting it to the industry and producing, yes, as what you're saying, glass, concrete, and such. So, but we need clean energy. So that's for sure. Thank you.
Okay, we can have another question.
Assalamualaikum and
Yes.
selamat pagi. Okay,
Salam.
I'm Danny from Interpol. So with this clean energy, we are in transportation. So there's a lot of vehicles. What is the plan of the government migrating from the current fuel to hydrogen? The process of migration of all the vehicles. Macam mana? Is there any adapter in the design for current kenderaan lah kata sekarang gitu. You cannot simply put aside all the vehicles. So must be some program of migrating to that process. How do you migrate?
Right, thank you. There are two approach. Number one is what government have done just last year during the budget announcement, that they've lifted the tax exemption for bringing in um, e-mobility, the electric vehicle. But they also, that particular phrase also will be hydrogen vehicle, which is fuel cell vehicle, will be subjected to as well as the tax exemption. Um, so this is what the government is doing. And when the government announced that under their low carbon mobility blueprint by 2025, half of the new vehicle to be used by the government will be clean, will be either electric vehicle or hydrogen vehicle. And by 2050, sorry, by 2030, 100% of the new government fleet will be electric and hydrogen. And the migration is there, but the source of the supply, the manufacturer, you have only a few available now. You have Toyota Mirai, you have other brands, but then again, what we need is more. So it's all about economy of scale. once the demand is there, when demand kicks in, then you can actually have more companies producing a vehicle. But let's to look another aspect. Could you convert EV into fuel cell? Yes, you can. It's just a matter of adding the tank and as well as a fuel cell. So once Malaysia has moved towards an EV nation, um, relying more on electric vehicle, the conversion from uh, from EV to fuel cell is very much simpler as opposed to the conversion from ICE to EV. So this is what we are looking at. And as time goes by, the government will be introducing more policies, allowing the conversion of those vehicles to be able to be on the road. So this is where we're looking at. And the drive that you see, the 12 Malaysia plan, it is not just for the energy sector, for industry, it is also for the transportation sector as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Our time is up. Thank you for your participation. And then thank you very much, Technology Shamsul Baha, for your enlightening speech and giving us the clear direction of the government, which is basically moving towards what we want, sustainable world. So thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause to the speaker.
Thank you very much.
For your enlightening speech and giving us the clear direction of the government, which is basically moving towards what we want, sustainable world. So thank you very much. Let's
We
give a
would
round
like
of
to
applause to the
invite
speaker.
Chairperson,
very much.
Professor Dr. Arshad Ahmed, to give a token to our plenary speaker, professional technologist Shamsul Bahar Muhammad Noor. Please welcome. We would like to invite Chairperson, Professor Dr. Arshad Ahmed, to give a token to our plenary speaker, professional technologist Shamsul Bahar Muhammad Noor. Please welcome.
Especially thank you, young Berbahagia Professor Dr. Arshad Ahmed and our invited speaker, professional technologist Shamsul Bahar Muhammad Noor, for the insightful talk. It's a great privilege to invite young Berbahagia Professor Dato IR Dr. Abu Bakr Jafar to introduce our next speaker. Please give a big round of applause. Professional technologist Shamsul Bahar Muhammad Noor, for the insightful talk. It's a great privilege to invite young Berbahagia Professor Dato
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Abu Bakr Jafar
Assalamualaikum
to introduce
warahmatullahi
our next
wabarakatuh.
speaker.
Salam sejahtera.
Please give a big round of
Selamat
applause.
pagi. Good morning. How are you gozaimasu? My name is Abu Bakar. I have the honor and pleasure to introduce our next plenary speaker, none other than Mr. Takayuki Watanabe of Genesis Incorporation of Japan. Mr. Takayuki Watanabe is a company director and also general manager of OTEC Engineering Department of Genesis Incorporation. Prior joining the Genesis Incorporation, he was an engineer with the Japanese power electric company called the Chugoku Electric Power Company. And he was in charge of operation and maintenance in thermal power plant and introduced new projects, including the improvement of the efficiency of equipment and plant. In the course of working for a thermal power plant, using huge amount of seawater, he became so fascinated in the potential of ocean energy that he joined Genesis Incorporation. And he is currently in charge of planning of OTEC projects and designing the system for the deployment of OTEC technology. Now I have the honor and pleasure to invite Mr. Watanabe to take the floor, please. While he's taking the floor, I want to make a quick remark. Just now, technologist Shamsul mentioned the potential of OTEC, about 200 megawatt. But actually, the potential in Malaysia is 26,000 megawatt. That's the minimum. So here we have the men to do it. Okay, Mr. Watanabe, you have the floor. Thank you.
Thank you for introducing me. Dr. Bakao.
26,000.
My name
megawatts.
is
That's the minimum.
Takayuki Watanabe from
So here we
Genesis
have a man.
Incorporated.
Do it. Okay, Mr.
At first, I would like to say thank you very much for giving us this kind of opportunity today. Today, we would like to talk about our company's effort of OTEC development. Originally, I wrote down the OTEC technologies in the program, but after making this presentation document, I realized that OTEC development, not technology, development is suitable word, so I changed the development. I'm very sorry for that. Next, please. Presentation document. First, I would like to introduce our company briefly. Our company was established at 1989, and originally, our company is producing a sake brewing plant. And since 2000, we are more concentrate on OTEC project. And our private parent company is Sakai Kokan. And thanks to the Sakai Kokan, we are very a small company, but thanks to the parent company, we can also we have some projects supported by Japanese government, like JICA and also NEDO. Thanks to these kind of things, we can survive even in such severe economical conditions. And we have head office in Tokyo, Japan. And also we have a factory in Imari, Saga Prefecture in Kyushu area in Japan. There we produce heat exchangers and also research development we do. And also we have a Kumejima satellite where there's a 100 kilowatt pilot plant of ocean OTEC plant. Next, please. Our business, like basically ocean thermal energy conversion development and also produce heat exchangers. Regarding OTEC, we do engineering and also EPC of OTEC system in collaboration with related companies. For example, we have in Japan, we have Japan Consortium to promote OTEC project, like Japan Marine United, Genesis, Kobe Steel, Yokogawa Electric, and Institute of Ocean Energy, Saga University. And also, this technology can be utilized for not only ocean energy, but also a temperature difference between waste heat and cooling media like cooling water and cooling air. So we do this kind of system and also engineering and EPC. And also for this application, we have also small power generation system like 30 kilowatt module. And regarding heat exchangers, we also manufacturing all welded plate type heat exchangers. This is originally developed for OTEC system, but we recently also supply this heat exchanger to industrial plant as well. And also we do lots of projects like research and development in collaboration with Saga University. And regarding process cycle and heat exchanger and related technologies such as desalination using temperature difference energy. Next, please. At first, a little bit briefly OTEC technologies I explain about. OTEC is ocean thermal energy conversions. This is the power generation system using temperature difference between surface ocean water and deep ocean water. So normally in tropical area, OTEC is ocean thermal energy conversion. This system is suitable for tropical area because as the temperature difference becomes larger, the efficiency becomes higher. So tropical area is more suitable, these technologies. And the principle is very simple, very similar to the conventional thermal power plant, like making steam and drive the turbine and generate the power. The difference is the heat source is very low temperature, so we can not use water, water steam. So instead of water steam, we utilized cooling made lower temperature boiling media like ammonia or alternative fluorocarbons. And if you look at the right-hand side picture, very simple system principle. Ammonia goes to the evaporator, and here warmed by the surface ocean water and becomes vapor, and goes to turbine and drive the turbine and generate the power. And after that, the vapor goes to the condenser and cools down by deep ocean water and becomes liquid. And very simple flow, and this is a simple Rankine cycle. This next. And after that, I would like to show briefly the features of this OTEC. About three items. First, predictable and stable power generation. This is very important features of OTEC. This is renewable energy, but very stable because temperature of deep ocean water is almost constant everywhere and also in every season. And regarding surface ocean water temperature, if it's tropical area, this is very constant. And also, even in quasi-tropical area, there's slight changes in the temperature, but this is not steep temperature, so we can predict the temperature. So we can predict power generation size. And also, due to the same reason, we can expect high on-stream factor because changes is very small. So if it's in tropical area, the on-stream factor is like 90%, something like that. And also, deep ocean water has features such as coldness, rich nutrient, and clearness. So using these features, there's a business using this deep ocean water, like aquaculture, cosmetics, and mineral water bottling. So OTEC can be combined with these kind of businesses to share the deep ocean water. So this can lead to the improvement of economics. This is the roadmap for OTEC commercialization. Please one push. Now we are here. OTEC has not been commercialized yet. Now we are in this demonstration, 100 kilowatt demonstration test. We have completed. And we completed this demonstration test. And we try to go to next step, like 1 megawatt scale plant. And in this case, 1 megawatt, there's a scale merit in OTEC, but 1 megawatt scale is not enough to get only power generation economics. So we look at the uh, secondary use of ocean water in various industries such as air conditioning, aquaculture, and cosmetics, and to improve economics of the project. And next stage, we look at the 10 megawatt. In 10 megawatt, we look at offshore development, and due to scale merit, power generation cost aspect a little bit improved. So we look at more power generation aspect. And finally, 100 megawatt is kind of goal, this system. And today I would like to show this 100 kilowatt demonstration aspect, and also next step, not yet realized, but we have some studies already, and so we are ready to construct the next step. So today I introduce this study result. This slide shows the 100 kilowatt OTEC demonstration facility. This facility is placed in Okinawa Deep Ocean Research Center. This facility intake deep ocean water from the depths of 612 meters. And the quantity flow rate is 13,000 tons per day at maximum, and temperature is 9 degrees C. And at the same time, surface seawater is also taken at flow rate at maximum 13,000 tons per day, the same amount. And the temperature is 23 degrees C to 29 degrees C. And using these seawaters, there's a deep ocean water industrial park. Left-hand side down picture shows this. There's prawn hatchery industries, and also cosmetics company using deep ocean water, and sea grape farming company, oyster aquaculture company, and super company, and water bottling company. They do business using deep ocean water. And also Deep Ocean Research Center, the upper side picture. Yep. And also the above picture is 100 kilowatt demonstration facility picture. Please, next. I have no time, so I'm running. This facility, more than 5 years consecutive operation, and stability of heat transfer performance has been improved during this project, and also low pressure loss and durability is also proved. And with standing maintenance, sudden stops of seawater pump, and various conditions in use. So we have much experience about this. And from this, we can go to the next stage, and we can design the 1 megawatt and 10 megawatt using this operation data. Next. This is the one of the result of the operation, continuous automatic operation for more than 5 years. The horizontal axis is a timeline, and vertical axis is accumulated operation hours. So, and dotted line in the graph is the 100 on-stream factor. And the actual line is the actual result of the operation. slightly less than 100%, but very near to the 100 operation on-stream factor. So the result for this year, the rate of operation is 86.7%. So it's a relative high on-stream factor can be expected. That realized. Next, please. So using these operation data, we develop performance analysis programs, and we can predict commercial scale performance. And also these data we can design the next more scale power generation like 1 megawatt, 10 megawatt. And we can predict commercial scale. This is the 1 megawatt Kumejima Island model. So, so next step from 100 kilowatt pilot plant, we are planning this kind of things. Deep ocean water at first utilized for 1 megawatt OTEC, and after that, the seawater goes to the deep ocean water used businesses. So the combination of the OTEC and also or deep ocean use businesses. And also we have done the next stage from 1 megawatt already. This is the feasibility study for 10 megawatt scale. The case for Tahichi project case. Net out and yep. Next stage from yes, we have already done the design for this, and the floating structure is like left-hand side picture. Next, please. Yep, and also floating structure about we have unique experience. This is actual project. This is ocean nutrient enhancer, we call it. And as the same as OTEC, these machines intakes surface ocean water from the upper side and deep ocean water from the deeper side and mix it up and discharge into the euphotic layer to increase productivity and cultivate fish migrant. So even in severe conditions like Japan, Japan has lots of typhoons. So even in such kind of severe conditions, this floating structure very stable. This kind of has been proved. So we choose this floating structure for OTEC offshore project. Also, we for not only ocean temperature difference, but also temperature difference between the waste heat from industries and cooling water or cooling air. So we also experience have industrial area. This is one of the example of the case for oil refinery, waste heat, and next please. And cooling water, next please. And this is the case for steel plant using waste heat from steel plant. Next, please. This is the 30 kilowatt module, small scale module plant, 30 kilowatt. This is the major equipment OTEC. Very simple. A seawater pump, heat exchangers, and working fluid pump and turbine generator. This is a main equipment, and we one more push. These heat exchangers are very important equipment for this plant. So we develop ourselves for these heat exchangers equipment, and I have no time, so these heat exchangers are very important equipment for this. Anyway, we develop heat exchangers for ourselves, and as a material, titanium we utilized. And next, please. And plate type heat exchanger, because plate type heat exchanger very efficient. Next, please. And but no normal for normal heat exchanger, plate heat exchanger, in case of OTEC, the seawater side and the ammonia side, the flow rate is very different, so not much balanced. So it's difficult to for the normal plate heat exchanger. So we develop right-hand side heat exchanger, all welded plate heat exchanger. So in this heat exchangers, seawater side, there's a big mouth for pressure loss for seawater lines can be very decreased. So it means to larger net power can be expected for OTEC power generation. Next. And this plate heat exchanger all welded, so no gasket, no leakage, and also chemical cleaning can be available. And also as the pictures shows, the water jet cleaning can be also available like this. So less maintenance can be expected. Next, please. And also okay. The pictures which shows push sorry push. So we developed software for the design of heat exchangers. Push. And using this software, we optimize heat exchanger design. Optimum design we will do for the design of heat exchangers. Push. This is the last slide. Anyway, next we think next step is 1 megawatt project realized. And so from recent activities in this slide shown. First, Kume Island, 1 megawatt. Kume Island, 1 megawatt OTEC plus a multi-use of deep ocean water. So combination of 1 megawatt power generation and deep ocean use business. As this is next step from a pilot plant. And also left-hand side down part, there's Mauritius. This is 1 megawatt OTEC plus also multi-use of deep ocean water. We just start to study for this project. This study is supported by Japanese government, NEDO, and in collaboration with MOL, Mitsui OSK Limited, which is very big shipping company, and also Saga University. And also there's another project. This project FS carried out by Saga University and ICCE, and our company provide technical support. And this study is supported by UNIDO. And in Malaysia also there's a project, HOTEC pilot project. And this project carried by UTM and Saga University. supported by JICA and JST. And this as a satellites project. And we support in the engineering matter such as constructions. So we now do challenge for the future to construct anyway 1 megawatt OTEC plant. Thank you very much. This as a satellites project, and we support in the engineering matter such as constructions. So we
Very much, Mr. Watanabe. I think we do have time for some questions and answers. And do I recognize any participant who would like to take the floor for your questions? While you're thinking about any question or comment, one of the, I would say, expensive component of the OTEC is the titanium heat exchanger. So the SATRAPS project in Malaysia, we are working on the stainless steel. And hopefully we could reduce the cost of this heat exchanger. This is one of the aspects of our current project. And also I recognize among us here, Mr. Sadayuki Suhara, the former president of Genesis. I have the honor and pleasure of meeting him 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago in Tokyo. Couldn't quite recall whether Watanabe was in the office or not. And also the owner of the Genesis Malaysia is Mr. Ichi Saito. He's the president of Sake Bukan Company Limited and is also accompanied by his general manager, Mr. Kenichi Fukushima. So welcome to Malaysia and in particular to Sarawak. I believe this is your first visit to Sarawak. Right, thank you. Do I recognize any member, participant who would like to take the floor? So if not, on all our behalf and my behalf, let me, please join me in showing our normal appreciation to Mr. Watanabe for his excellent presentation. Do I recognize any member, participant who would like to take the floor? Thank you very much. Yeah. Now back to the MC. On all our behalf and my behalf, let me, please join me in showing our normal appreciation to Mr.
We would like to invite Chairperson, Professor Dato IR Dr. Abu Bakar Jaafar, to give a token to our plenary speaker, Mr. Takayuki Watanabe. Please welcome. We would like to invite Chairperson, Professor Dato IR Dr. Abu Bakar Jaafar, to give a token to our plenary speaker, Mr. Takayuki Watanabe. Please welcome. We would like to invite Chairperson, Professor Dato IR Dr. Abu Bakar Jaafar, to give a token to our plenary speaker, Mr. Takayuki Watanabe. Please welcome.
Thank you very much, Professor Datu IR, Dr. Abu Bakar Jafar, and we appreciate the wonderful talk by Mr. Takayuki Watanabe. Surely all participants may have gained some knowledge from our plenary, which might be beneficial for future use. We will wait a few minutes for the arrival of our VIPs, so please enjoy. Much, Professor Datu IR, Dr. Abu Bakar Jafar, and we appreciate the wonderful talk by Mr. Takayuki Watanabe. Surely all participants may have gained some knowledge.
Walk with me, I've got a world to show you. Let it take you by wonder. Listen closely, the sounds of the rivers call for you, and the rainforest too. Here is where legends come alive and cultures thrive. Here is our paradise. Homeland, stories that lies in the roots of our soil, like pieces of gold. There's more in the mountains and seas. There's more in the rhythm and melodies. Open your arms and embrace the land. Let me take your hand. This is our paradise. There's more to discover, Sarawak. There's more to discover,
It's a privilege to share a small island story, my home, with the global community at COP26 at Woodhouse. In the next few minutes, we'll share an innovative approach to building resilience and sustainability through ocean resources. This is Kumijima. Kumijima Town is now utilizing the facility to supply post-OTEC ocean water to aquaculture industries, a test case that may facilitate future aquaculture expansion. We hope the Kumijima model, Megawatt OTEC, and combined Dow Industries will inspire you to help islands and coastal communities connect with their ocean resources so that all might have clean and sustainable energy, water, and food. Supply post-OTEC ocean water to aquaculture industries, a test case that may facilitate future aquaculture expansion. We hope the Kumijima model, Megawatt OTEC, and combined Dow Industries will inspire you to help islands and coastal communities connect with their ocean resources so that all might have clean.
MGTC, an agency under the Ministry of Environment and Water, CASA, has been given the mandate to drive the green economy and accelerate climate action in Malaysia, working on programs and initiatives with the federal government, state governments, local authorities, industries across all economic sectors, academia, and the community. MGTC aims to grow Malaysia's green economy to 100 billion ringgit, generate 230,000 new green jobs, and inculcate a green lifestyle in helping Malaysia achieve its 45% emissions reductions by 2030 target. MGTC, leading the way to a sustainable Malaysia. MGTC aims to grow Malaysia's green economy to 100 billion ringgit, generate 230,000 new green jobs.
Dear guests and participants, we apologize for the short delay. Dear guests and participants, we apologize for the short delay. Now, I would like to request all the audience to stand up as we are about to announce the arrival of our VIPs and guests. Please stand up.
Announcing the arrival
Now, I would
of
like to
Deputy
request all the
Minister of
audience to
Energy
stand
and
up as we are
Environmental
about to announce the
Sustainability
arrival
Sarawak,
of our VIPs.
Yang Berhormat Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Abang Hipni. Announcing the arrival of Deputy Minister of Energy and Environmental Sustainability Sarawak, Yang Berhormat Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Abang Hipni.
Please remain standing for the national and Sarawak anthem. Please stay standing. Thank you.
All guests may have a seat. We will begin the ceremony with the recitation of Doa that will be led by Mr. Mansur Al Hassan. Please welcome. All guests may have a seat. We will begin the ceremony with the recitation of Doa that will be led by Mr. Mansur Al Hassan. Please welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Before starting the ceremony, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the occasion to go smoothly. We start with Al-Fatiha. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Lord of the whole worlds. Peace and blessings be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions and all those who follow their path with goodness until the day of judgment. Allahumma ya Allah. As we gather here in Sarawak for the 18th International Conference on Clean Energy today, we ask for your blessings, guidance, and countless favors. Ya Allah, guide us from the beginning until the end of this gathering. Ya Latif, Ya Rahman, bless us with tawfiq and hidayah. Continue to uplift our University Technology Malaysia, to greatness, glory, and prosperity. Bless abundantly also the organizers, the supporting organizations, as well as the sponsors of this conference. Grant us with valuable knowledge that will be beneficial to us and to humanity. Ya Allah, count us amongst your righteous servants that enjoin good and forbid evil. Ya Munazzil Barakat, bless this beloved country of ours, Malaysia, and my home country, Nigeria, and all the other countries of the world. Protect us, Ya Allah, against all threats and disasters. Protect us amongst the evils of ourselves and of the unseen. Protect us against natural and man-made disasters as well. Ya Allah, protect our leaders, protect us, and give us and our nation's safety and prosperity. ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله على محمد. السلام عليكم.
We would like to thank Mr. Mansour Al Hassan for the dua.
Greetings to young Berhormat Dr. Haji Haslan bin Abang Hibni, Deputy Minister for Energy and Environmental Sustainability, Sarawak. Young Berbahagia Professor Dr. Rusli bin Muhammad Ilyas, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation of University Technology, Malaysia. Young Berbahagia Professor Dr. Wan Hashim Wan Ibrahim, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation, UNIMAS. Young Berbahagia Professor Dr. Arshad bin Ahmed, Director of Institute of Future Energy. Young Berbahagia Associate Professor Dr. Anwar Johari, Chairman of ICCE 2022. Sponsors, lecturers, and fellow researchers.
Once again, welcome to the 18th International Conference of Clean Energy, ICCE 2022. For your information, we have more than 100 international, local participants and professionals joining this conference. All participants come together to share their contribution and discuss direction on the field of sustainable energy and clean energy system. This conference is aimed at promoting clean energy for better social and economic returns. We hope to be able to conclude contributions, as in these 2 days of conference, to accelerate the academia and also our industry partners.
It is a rare privilege and a great honor to invite Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation of University Technology Malaysia, young Berbahagia Professor Dr. Rusli bin Muhammad Ilyas, for his welcoming speech. Please come forward. Please give a big round of applause.
The academia and also our industry partners.
It is a rare privilege and a great honor to invite Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation of University Technology Malaysia, young Berbahagia Professor Dr. Rusli bin Muhammad Ilyas, for his
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and greeting to all. Thank you, Master of Ceremony. A very good morning to Yang Berhormat Dr. Haji Haslan bin Abang Hifni, Deputy Minister for Energy and Environmental Sustainability Sarawak. Yang berusaha Associate Professor Dr. Anwar Johari, Chairman of ICCE 2022, Madam Emilia Rosiman, CEO of Sarawak Convention Bureau, SCB, Yang Berusaha Profesor Dr. Wan Hashim bin Wan Ibrahim, Deputy Vice Chancellor Research and Innovation of UNIMAS, to all speakers and participants. Ladies and gentlemen, as the host of this year's conference, I would like to welcome all presenters and participants to the International Conference on Clean Energy 2022, ICCE 2022. University Technology Malaysia is honored to be given the trust and mandate by the Clean Energy Research Institute, SERI, University of Miami, to host this year's conference. After so long, we have been prevented from carrying our physical activities due to the current pandemic situation. Finally, we are able to meet face-to-face to resume our physical engagement. In Malaysia, nothing beats the satisfaction of face-to-face activity. Distinguished audience, on behalf of University Technology Malaysia, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Sarawak Convention Bureau, SCB, and the Malaysia Convention and Exhibition Bureau, MyCEB, for their contribution and support in making this conference a success. Without their support, this conference would not have been possible in the land of Kenyalang, which is rich in culture and high aesthetic values. The university is very concerned about the well-being and development of the country, and the university will always play its role as a thinker to help the country to achieve optimal progress. The progress to be achieved must be harmonious and not at the expense of this endowed balance of nature. To achieve such progress, Malaysia and other countries in the world with the same vision must act immediately to continue to make meaningful progress in the energy sector as well as the reduction of carbon emission. It is time for us to commit and mobilize everyone to create a cleaner environment by using renewable and clean energy sources. For this reason, the conference is expected to serve as a platform for academics, researchers, policymakers, stakeholders, and authorities to gather to exchange ideas and plan and examine all possibilities from various aspects in creating a cleaner energy system. I'm sure we have many thinkers and researchers who have begun to explore and conduct research on clean energy technology, and there may also be studies conducted on the management of these energy resources that can be shared with industry players and authorities to create a more sustainable clean energy technology. If this best practice can be adopted widely, I am confident that many others will also benefit in terms of social and economic returns. I'm sure that we will be able to reduce the dependency on conventional energy resources. As a result, we will also be able to reduce pollution caused by carbon emission by the industrial sector and vehicles. I hope the input from the discussion and paper presentation at this conference will be beneficial to all parties involved in creating renewable and clean energy system and creating system less vulnerable to market shocks and improving energy resilience and security by diversifying power supply options. Finally, I would like to congratulate the organizing committee for their hard work in making this conference a success. In the name of God for mankind. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Yang Berbahagia, Professor Dr. Rosli bin Muhammad Ilyas, Deputy Vice Chancellor.
Again, a rare privilege. With great honor and humility, I welcome the Deputy Minister for Energy and Environmental Sustainability, Sarawak, Yang Berhormat Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Abang Hipni, for the officiating speech. Please give a warm round of applause.
Deputy Vice Chancellor.
Again, a rare privilege.
Thank you very much to the two MCs. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I think I look better without the mask. And a very good morning to all delegates. Thank you very much. Participants, to the two MCs, the organizer, the speakers, the sponsors, the media, and everybody present this morning. There is no salutation punya nama. Tak ada. the professors in front, whom I just met a few minutes ago. Most of them are from University Technology Malaysia. Professor, ready? Yeah, Elias, and the whole line of knowledgeable people in front of us, and to all present. First of all, I would like to welcome, on behalf of Sarawak government, all of you to this international conference of clean energy, the 18th International Conference to Sarawak. Used to be known as the land of the hornbill, but in future, we will also be known as the land of the green energy. I'll tell you the story later. First of all, why are we here this morning? Why are we here? Why are all of us here this morning? I think the main reason, the only reason, and the most important reason is due to climate change. That is the global issue at the moment. And we can see and watch the news every day, the effects of climate change, which is happening right now in Europe and around that area, whereby the temperature of London, Italy, and Spain has gone up to 42 degrees Celsius, something which is unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah. So that's why we are all here. We are all here because of climate change. And I would like to share some of our experience from Sarawak as regards to the agenda on mitigating climate change. We in Sarawak have made a very important decision about a few years ago, exactly about 3 to 4 years ago, whereby we will take very active and serious steps in condoning and mitigating and taking part in controlling and mitigating climate change. Because if we don't take any serious steps, Sarawak, talking about Sarawak, not Malaysia, in the next few years, we will be facing all the effects of climate change. And so, our government has decided to set up a new ministry, which is where I'm in now, which is called the Ministry of Energy and Environmental Sustainability. Because to mitigate and to control the effects of climate change, the strategy is through environmental sustainability. How do we do it? Through environmental sustainability, there are a lot of steps. There are a few steps. And the main method is to reduce carbon emission. I think the professors here will know better. The world is about 4.5 billion years old. Climate change is a natural phenomenon. Even though without carbon emission, climate change will still happen. But it will be exaggerated and fastened due to human activities. And the effect of human activities was seen to increase the seriousness of climate change in the last 200 years, whereby man first learned how to make a fire. Man learned how to make fire, how to light fire for their own survival, and that was the beginning of carbon emission. And the story goes on, and the rest is history. In the last 100 over years, the increase in carbon emission in the world was exponential due to industrialization. Either the industrialists did not understand the effect of carbon, or it was due to the pressure of economy, the pressure of becoming the most developed country in the world, and they have forgotten that the scientific effect of greenhouse gases to the planet and to the atmosphere. So that is what that has happened, and Sarawak is not willing to see that happening in Sarawak, even though at the moment we are carbon negative. We are very proud to say that Sarawak is still carbon negative because 65% of Sarawak is still covered by green forests. We have trees, we have mangrove. 15% of that 65% is mangrove. And mangrove, as you all know, can store 3 times the amount of carbon as compared to the normal trees. And out of that 65%, we also have 10% of peat soil, which is also our carbon sink. And we haven't calculated our carbon sink and carbon stock in the ocean and in the rivers and in the waters surrounding Sarawak, which make up of the blue carbon. Yeah? And on top of that, Sarawak is blessed by God Almighty with a natural package. Yeah? We have a natural package whereby we have a lot of forests, we have a lot of rivers, we have big and long rivers. There are actually 333 rivers. Very easy to remember, 333. We have a lot of rain because we are in the tropics. We have a lot of sunshine, so we can get involved in solar power and also floating solar. Yeah. And as you know, our Bakun Dam, the reservoir, the Bakun Reservoir, is as big as Singapore. And we can generate 2,400 megawatts of energy from the floating solar only. So you can imagine the potential power house in Asia and maybe in the world is actually here. Yeah. And besides that, we are also being blessed by a very stable government. So you can imagine we are not busy quarreling. The potential we have a very strong leadership and a very far-sighted and futuristic leadership in our Premier, Datuk Tinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari, who sends his regards. He's now away overseas doing all this marketing and so on. And also, we have very friendly, actually business-friendly people in Sarawak who are ever smiling and very kind to foreign direct investors to set up the industries in Sarawak because we can provide them with the correct business climate. Yeah? Number one is due to our cheap and clean energy from hydro. Number two, our affordable labor. Number three, our big land size. Because to set up a hydrogen plant, they need about 100 to 180 hectares of land, which can produce about 100,000 tons of hydrogen per year. And we have already secured 2 of such projects in Sarawak, in Bintulu. One is from Korea, which can produce 100,000 tons of hydrogen per year. And the other is from Japan, also producing 100,000 tons a year. And you know or not, Korea needs 2 million tons of hydrogen per year. 100,000 is only 5% of hydrogen per year of the requirement. And that hydrogen, 90% of it will be exported back to Korea, and only 10% will be used in Sarawak. Ladies and gentlemen, I just would like to share you a story. When we were in Rotterdam and Norway a few weeks ago with the Premier, who took part in the World Hydrogen Summit in Rotterdam, we also visited the port of Rotterdam. Yeah, the port of Rotterdam is about 35 kilometers long, and on both sides of the river are all industries. And we passed one industry, one part of the port, and we saw there were 10 big buildings, huge buildings, 10 of them, all similar looking, white in color. It looks something like our shopping mall in Kuching. And we asked them, what was that? And they told us that that is the hydrogen plant. That section is especially for hydrogen production. And one plant can produce 100,000 tons a year of hydrogen, and there are 10 buildings of similar size in that place. So they can produce 1 million tons of hydrogen per year just from that place. And the other thing that we learned internationally is that due to the Russia-Ukraine war, I think the professor just mentioned this now about geopolitical shock. Yeah? So they increase in price, the effects on the livelihood of the people and the economy. And you know what? One thing that we learned, the European Union, the European nations have decided, I think you have read in the news, that they will reduce their oil and gas imports from Russia by two-thirds within 1 year. So now they have realized the importance of looking, searching for a new alternative energy, clean energy, and which everyone can produce. Any country can produce that energy, and that energy is hydrogen. Hydrogen is going to be energy of the future because any country can produce hydrogen, isn't it? As long as you have two things. One, you have water. Second, you have power to split the hydrogen and oxygen. The only question is, what type of power does the country have? So Sarawak has the cheapest and greenest power, which is hydropower. They can also use fossil fuel. They can also use the hydrogen and oxygen. What call that, solar? They can also use even nuclear to split the hydrogen. But all those are not green. Hydro is the greenest. Solar is still expensive and not practical. Wind is out of the question as far as Malaysia is concerned. Okay? So, believe it or not, hydrogen is going to be the energy of the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I would like to thank the organizer, and I hope this conference will bring a lot of inputs for all of you to discuss, especially on the pathway that Malaysia is going to take as far as clean and new energy is concerned. And I hope there will be very good collaborative efforts amongst the academicians and also the industry, and the government, especially Sarawak government. There's no question. I am always here. I will assist as far as clean and new energy finally is concerned. Happy conference and enjoy your stay in Sarawak, land of the green energy. Thank you very much. So the industry, all of you and the government, especially Sarawak government, there's no question.
As a symbolic of ICCE 2022, we invite Yang Berhormat Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Abang Hipni, accompanied by Yang Berbahagia Professor Dr. Rosli bin Muhammad Ilyas, Yang Berbahagia Professor Dr. Arshad bin Muhammad bin Ahmad, dan Yang Berbahagia Associate Professor Dr. Anwar Johari on the stage to officiate the conference. Please welcome Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Abang Hipni, accompanied by Yang Berbahagia, Professor Dr. Rosli bin Muhammad Ilyas, Yang Berbahagia, Professor Dr. Arshad bin Muhammad bin Ahmad, dan Yang Berbahagia, Associate Professor Dr. Anwar Johari on the stage to officiate the conference. Please welcome Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Abang Hipni, accompanied by Yang Berbahagia, Professor Dr. Rosli bin Muhammad Ilyas, Yang Berbahagia, Professor Dr. Arshad bin Muhammad bin Ahmad.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Please give a round of applause to Yang Berhormat Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Abang Hipni. And thank you to Professor Dr. Rosli bin Muhammad Ilyas and Professor Dr. Arshad bin Ahmad. I would like to request Yang Berhormat I would like to request Yang Berhormat Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Abang Hipni and Professor Madya Dr. Anwar Johari to remain on stage to present token to our sponsors. And thank you to Professor Dr. Rosli bin Muhammad Ilyas and Professor Dr. Arshad bin Ahmed. I would like to request Yang Berhormat I would like to request Yang Berhormat Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Abang Hipni and Professor Madya Dr. Anwar Johari to remain on stage to present token to our sponsors. And thank you to Professor Dr. Rosli bin Muhammad.
As the world moves
Our
into
first
an
sponsor, Business Events Sarawak.
experiencing changes in the way we organize and host conventions. Ooh ha! We are Business Events Sarawak, an organization dedicated to ensuring your business events are successful and working towards defining a higher business purpose. Our vision is to create real change for you. Yes, you. Our government and corporate affiliates. We are Business
Please give
Events
a big round of
Sarawak,
applause to
an
Madame Amelia
organization
Rosaiman, the
dedicated to
CEO
ensuring
of
your
Business Events Sarawak.
are successful and working towards defining a higher business purpose. Our vision is to create real change for you. Yes, you. Our government and corporate affiliates. We are Business
Please give
Events
a big round of
Sarawak,
applause to
an
Madame Amelia
organization
Rosaiman, the
dedicated to
CEO of
ensuring your
Business Events Sarawak.
are successful and working towards defining a higher business purpose. Our vision is to create real change for you. Yes, you. Our government and corporate affiliates. We are Business
Please give
Events
a big round of
Sarawak.
applause to
It's a
Madame
privilege to share a small island story.
Our
My
second
home,
sponsor,
the global
Zenesis.
community of COP26 at Woodhouse. In the next few minutes, we'll share an innovative approach to building resilience and sustainability through ocean resources. This is Kumijima. Kumijima Town is now utilizing the facility to supply post-Otic ocean water to aquaculture industries, a test case that may facilitate future aquaculture expansion. We hope the Kumijima model, Megawatt Otic, and combined Dow Industries will inspire you to help islands and coastal communities connect with their ocean resources so that all might have clean and sustainable energy, water, and food. Is now utilizing the facility to supply post-Otic ocean water to
Please
aquaculture
welcome the
industries.
President and CEO of Sikai Koken, Mr. Ichi Saito, on to say. Please give a big round of applause.
And combined Dow Industries will inspire you to help islands and coastal communities connect with their ocean resources so that all might have clean and sustainable energy, water, and food. Is now utilizing the facility to supply
Please welcome the President and CEO of Sikai Koken, Mr. Ichi Saito, on to say. Please give a big round of applause.
and combined Dow Industries will inspire you to help islands and coastal communities connect with their ocean resources so that all might have clean and sustainable energy, water, and food.
Please welcome the President and CEO of Sikai Koken, Mr. Ichi Saito, on to say.
MGTC, an
Our
agency
third
under the
sponsor,
Ministry of Environment
MGTC.
and Water, CASA, has been given the mandate to drive the green economy and accelerate climate action in Malaysia, working on programs and initiatives with the federal government, state governments, local authorities, industries across all economic sectors, academia, and the community. MGTC aims to grow Malaysia's green economy to 100 billion ringgit, generate 230,000 new green jobs, and inculcate a green lifestyle in helping Malaysia achieve its 45% emissions reductions by 2030 target. MGTC, leading the way to a sustainable Malaysia across all economic sectors, academia, and the community. MGTC aims to
Please
grow
welcome
Malaysia's green
professional
economy to
technologist
100
Shamsul Bahar
billion
Muhammad
ringgit,
Noor.
generate
Please give a big round of
230,000 new
applause.
green jobs, and inculcate a green lifestyle in helping Malaysia achieve its 45% emissions reductions by 2030 target. MGTC, leading the way to a sustainable Malaysia across all economic sectors, academia, and the community. MGTC aims to
Please
grow
welcome
Malaysia's green
professional
economy
technologist
to
Shamsul
100
Bahar
billion
Muhammad
ringgit,
Noor.
generate
Please give a big round of
230,000 new
applause.
green jobs, and inculcate a green lifestyle in helping Malaysia achieve its 45% emissions reductions by 2030 target. MGTC, leading the way to a sustainable Malaysia across all economic sectors, academia, and
Our next sponsor, Intertech. welcome Mr. Anand Shankaran, Vice President of Human Resource and Director of Sustainability and Business Strategy Asia Pacific, Intertech. Please welcome Mr. Anand Shankaran, Vice President of Human Resource and Director of Sustainability and Business Strategy. Our next sponsor, Sarawak Energy. Our next sponsor, Sarawak Energy. Please welcome IR Bunya Lunyong, CEO of SEB Power. Our next sponsor, Sarawak Energy. Please welcome IR Bunya Lunyong, CEO of SEB Power. Our next sponsor, Sarawak Metro. Please welcome professional technologist Mazli bin Mustafa, CEO of Sarawak Metro. Please welcome. Please welcome professional technologist Mazli bin Mustafa, CEO of Sarawak Metro. Please welcome. Our last sponsor, Kiwi Green Tech. Please welcome Mr. Azrin bin Abu Bakar, Group Managing Director of Kiwi Green Tech Group. Please welcome Mr. Azrin bin Abu Bakar, Group Managing Director of Kiwi Green Tech Group.
Now, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Rusli bin Muhammad Ilyas to present the token of appreciation to young Berhormat Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Habang Hibni.
Please welcome Mr. Azrin bin Abu Bakar, Group Managing Director of Kiwi Green Tech Group.
Now, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Rusli bin Muhammad Ilyas to present the token of appreciation to young Berhormat Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Habang Hibni.
Now, I would like to invite Professor Madhya Dr. Anwar Johari to present token of appreciation to Professor Dr. Rosli bin Muhammad Ilyas. Now, I would like to invite Professor Madhya Dr. Anwar Johari to present token of appreciation.
Thank
to
you very
Professor
much,
Dr.
Yang
Rosli
Berhormat
bin Muhammad
Dr.
Ilyas.
Haji Hazlan bin Abang Hipni, honorable guests, and all sponsors.
I would like to request everyone to stand up for the group photo session. Now, I would like to invite Professor Madhya Dr. Anwar Johari to present token of appreciation.
Thank
to
you very
Professor
much,
Dr.
Yang
Rosli bin
Berhormat
Muhammad
Dr.
Ilyas.
Haji Hazlan bin Abang Hipni, honorable guests, and all sponsors.
I would like to request everyone to stand up for the group photo session. Now, I would like to invite Professor Madhya Dr. Anwar Johari to present token of appreciation.
Thank you very much, Yang Berhormat Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Abang Hipni, honorable guests, and all sponsors.
I would like to request everyone to stand up for the group photo session.
Thank you very much, Yang Berhormat Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Abang Hipni, honorable guests, and all sponsors. Everyone take a seat. We are already at the end of our first half of the ICCE 2022 conference. Attention to all the VIPs and all participants. We will be having a gala dinner at the main hall A at 8 p.m. tonight. You can find the coupon behind the name tag. Everyone take a seat. Now we would like to invite Yang Berhormat Dr. Haji We are Hazlan already bin at the Abang end of our Hipni, first followed half by of the Yang Berbahagia ICCE Professor Dr. 2022 Rusli bin Muhammad conference. Ilyas, an honorable guest to Attention to press all the conference session VIPs at and the all VIP participants. lounge. We will be having a gala dinner at the main hall A at 8 p.m. tonight. You We can would find the also coupon like to behind the name inform tag. All Now the we would other like to invite participants that we will be Yang having a Berhormat tea break Dr. session Haji Hazlan
in
in a
a
bit,
bit,
followed by Yang Berbahagia Professor
and it will
Dr.
be
Rusli
great
bin
to have
Muhammad
you all
Ilyas,
return
an
to the
honorable
hall
guest to
by
press conference
11
session at the
a.m.
VIP lounge. We will be having a gala dinner at the main hall A at 8 p.m. tonight. We would also like to inform all the other participants that we will be having a tea break session in a bit, followed by Yang Berbahagia Professor. And it will be great to have you all return to the hall by 11 a.m. We would also like to inform all the other participants that we will be having a tea break session in a bit, followed by Yang Berbahagia Professor. And it will be great to have you all return to the hall by 11 a.m. Participants, please make sure to come back by 11:10 to commence the rest of the conference. Thank you. Participants, please make sure to come back by 11:10 to commence the rest of the conference. Thank you. Participants, please make sure to come back by 11:10 to commence the rest of the conference. Thank you. Participants, please make sure to come back by 11:10 to commence the rest of the conference. Thank you.
Thanks, Anand. Thanks for the introduction. 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 Can you hear me? Thanks, Anand. Thanks for the introduction.
Hello, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Sound check. 1, 2, 3. Mr. Sunny.
Yes, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you
Okay,
hear me?
fantastic, fantastic. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Hello, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Sound check. 1, 2, 3. Mr. Sunny.
Yes, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you
Okay,
hear me?
fantastic, fantastic. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Hello, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Sound check. 1, 2, 3. Mr. Sunny.
Yes, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you
Okay,
hear me?
fantastic, fantastic. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Hello, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Sound check. 1, 2, 3. Mr. Sunny.
Yes, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you
Okay,
hear me?
fantastic, fantastic. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Hello, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Sound check. 1, 2, 3. Mr. Sunny.
Yes, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you
Okay,
hear me?
fantastic, fantastic. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Hello, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Sound check. 1, 2, 3. Mr. Sunny.
Yes, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you
Okay,
hear me?
fantastic, fantastic. Thank you.
Everyone, please enter the hall as we're about to begin our next session. Thank you. Everyone, please enter the hall as we're about to begin our next session. Thank you. Everyone, please enter the hall as we're about to begin our next session. Thank you. Everyone, please enter the hall as we're about to begin our next session. Thank you. Everyone, please enter the hall as we're about to begin our next session. Thank you.
Kindly, everyone, please take a seat as we're about to begin. Please make way to your seats. Thank you. Kindly, everyone, please take a seat as we're about to begin. Please make way to your seats. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, hello, and welcome back to Guests of Honor, all participants to this next plenary session. Without further ado, I would like to hand this session to the chairperson, Associate Professor IR Dr. Mimi Haryani Hashim, to introduce our next plenary speaker. Please
Assalamualaikum,
welcome.
hello, and welcome back to Guests of Honor, all participants to this next plenary session. Without further ado,
Thank
I
you
would
very
like to
much,
hand this session
MCs.
to the chairperson,
Assalamualaikum
Associate
warahmatullahi
Professor IR
wabarakatuh.
Dr. Mimi
And a
Haryani
very
Hashim
good morning,
to
almost
introduce
afternoon,
our next
ladies
plenary
and
speaker.
gentlemen.
Please welcome.
So
and
I am Mimi
welcome back
Hashim,
to Guests of Honor,
the chairman
all
for our
participants to this next
session now.
plenary session.
So for
Without
our
further
third
ado, I would like to
plenary
hand this
speech,
session to the
we are
chairperson,
very honored to have
Associate
IR
Professor
Bunyat
IR
Lunyo
Dr. Mimi
as the
Haryani
plenary
Hashim
speaker,
to
yeah, as
introduce
our
our
third
next
plenary
plenary
speaker.
speaker.
So
Please
before we
welcome.
start, let me have the honor to introduce our great speaker.
Session now.
So for our third plenary too short for this. We are very honored to have for the mic stand. Okay. So IR Bunyat Lungyong is the Chief Executive Officer for SEB. Thank you so much. Okay, for Sarawak Energy Berhad Power, which is Sarawak Energy's generation arm. He oversees the operation of its power generation business, covering hydro, coal, gas, and hydrogen. In his role, IR Bunyat strengthens the company's generation operations by enhancing and maximizing the value of its power generation assets, driving Sarawak Energy's growth agenda and strategic vision of becoming a regional renewable energy powerhouse. He is the key to Sarawak Energy's ongoing generation transformation journey and efforts to realize the company's digital power plant ambition. Prior to this, IR Bunya was Sarawak Energy's general manager for project delivery, leading project controls and performance management to enhance project modeling. IR Bunya has over 30 years of experience in electrical engineering, project management, engineering, construction, commissioning, operations, maintenance, and assets integrity from his time in various multinational corporations. We really have a very good speaker today, the right person to give a talk for our conference today. So he holds a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering from the University of Houston and is a member of the Malaysian Institute of Engineers, IEM, and Board of Engineers Malaysia, BEM. A very good speaker today. So with this introduction, we would like to welcome IR Bunyat Lungyong to give his talk entitled Sarawak's Renewable Energy Transition. Please welcome. IEM and Board of Engineers Malaysia, BEM.
Thank you for the introduction. Good morning and welcome to all participants of this workshop. We have people from all over the world, I would say. Dr. Anand here from Australia, Japan, also from, of course, from Sarawak, from outside Sarawak. Welcome. So maybe just give Sarawak greeting. I'm an Iban. So Iban greeting is Nama Berita. So how are you? And selamat datang ya. So from outside Sarawak, yeah, welcome. Yeah, before I go into maybe just what I wanted to share this morning, our YB Deputy Minister Dr. Haji Hazlan has already provided the Sarawak contact as to where we are. Sarawak, as I said, the government in collaborating with the various agencies. Sarawak Energy is a state-owned government, is a GLC, and we support the Sarawak government in in each ambition in all areas, including net zero, moving into a developed state by 2030, so on and so forth. So I think our YB minister has put it in a very good context, in Sarawak context. And I just mentioned to him just now, I like your statement on, why are we here in this conference? So on and so forth. So I think it's because of climate change. Yeah. I think that is very important for the future of not only region but the whole world. Yeah. So I think if you just think outside the box, that is a very key statement from the leaders as to why we are here. Yeah. And of course, because of that, how do we get there? Through renewable energy, technology, so on and so forth. The whole world. So that's one. And I just want to reflect and share on one aspect as well. This is what a number of leaders observe from discussion all over the world. And how do we effect this change? I think one of the very key one is bold leadership. Yeah. So for us to make things happen, we need to have a strong leader, bold leadership, both in private and in public sector. Yeah, both government institution as well. Like all the universities, businesses, so on and so forth. We need to take that bold leadership to get going. Otherwise, yeah. And the other thing is collaboration. Institution as well. There's no one person or one body or one country that can drive this. This is a world agenda. So it requires collaboration from everybody, yeah, including institution of higher learnings and so on and so forth. So every country, every region have their own strength. In Sarawak, as you hear from our deputy minister just now, 65% of the state is still green. So a number of statements mentioned just now is very key. Sarawak will be the green. Used to be called Bumi Kenyalang. Moving, the future vision is for Sarawak to be Bumi. Is it hydrogen? So a number of statements mentioned just now. Okay, so I have quite a number of sharing to do, so I'll just move on. So thank you for inviting moving Sarawak Energy to be part of this conference to share a story in driving energy transition toward a more sustainable energy future of all. This is, like I said earlier, it's an opportunity for like-minded organization and higher learning institution to share knowledge and experience, and indeed learn from success stories as well as challenges. Future of all. This is, like I said earlier, it's an opportunity for like-minded organization. Yeah. And higher learning institution. Let me put our energy transition in the context of providing a brief overview of Sarawak and history of energy development within the state. I think our YB Deputy Minister has touched a bit on that. Sarawak is the largest territory in Malaysia, and we are located northwest coast of Borneo, which we share with Indonesian, Kalimantan, Brunei, and Sabah. We are exceptionally diverse, comprising 27 ethnic groups speaking over 40 different languages. So, for state of Sarawak, we speak 40 different languages. So I probably wouldn't, I don't know how many I know. But and dialects, although our official languages are English and Bahasa Malaysia. Sarawak land size is roughly about 12.4 million hectares, marked by long coastline and mountain landscape, very narrow, very rainy climate, and many rivers. As what I think 333 are easy to remember. 333 rivers. I figured I learned this morning, so you always learn new information shared by others. We also rich in natural resources, Sarawak base, and harness this for our social economic development. Yeah, we have oil and natural gas. I think that industry has been in Sarawak for more than 100 years. Of course, we have timber and we also have coal, other metals. So in 1910, 1910 to now is probably more than 100 years. Malaysia first oil was flowed in Miri, Sarawak. More oil and gas resources were subsequently discovered across Malaysia, including large gas deposit later in Sarawak, which would lead to the growth of Bintulu as a natural gas hub of the country. Yeah. However, oil and gas resources are finite, and Sarawak has been harnessing this for a century, including large gas deposits. Yeah, as I said earlier, would lead to the growth of Bintulu as a natural gas hub of the country. The government of Sarawak has a strategic and proactive approach in planning for future of its people, with a very clear goal: high income status for Sarawak by 2030. Yeah. In recognition that our natural resources were depleting, the Sarawak government determined that we needed to harness our other abundant natural resources. Studies from the 1960s show that harnessing Sarawak hydropower potential could drive significant economic growth in the state. Yeah. This resulted in the launch of a Sarawak Corridor of Renewable Energy, SCORE, in 2008. By leveraging on renewable hydropower development, we were able to attract bulk power customers from energy-intensive industries through our predominantly renewable generation mix and our globally competitive tariffs. So I will want to emphasize that as well. Our tariff in Sarawak is very competitive, the lowest in the region of unsubsidized. Yeah. Through our predominantly SCORE has been a success as a proactive initiative that reflects Sarawak government determination to ensure a secure long-term future for our economy and for future generation of unsubsidized. Yeah. It follows a proven path that countries such as Norway, Canada has embarked on, harnessing bulk energy development to drive new prosperity. The success of SCORE has been enhanced and built upon under our current Premier's leadership. In 2020, Sarawak Economic Action Council, SEAC, was formalized to enable Sarawak to move past the disruption and challenges of COVID-19 pandemic. SEAC subsequently developed and launched the post-COVID-19 development strategy 2021. Was formalized to enable Sarawak to move past the disruption and challenges of COVID-19 pandemic. As mentioned previously, SCORE aimed to power industrial growth through hydropower development, creating business and employment opportunities by attracting bulk power customer, investing in at Semalaju Industrial Park. There are many international investors from across the world operating and constructing new plants in the area, representing an inbound investment of 27.64 billion. Sarawak first identified our hydro potential via a study in 1962, which was followed by more studies in 1980 and 1990s. Since 1979, a total of 155 potential hydro sites were discovered, with 50 being shortlisted for exploration, contributing to an estimated about 20 megawatt of renewable hydropower in Sarawak. Of these, 14 high potential sites were identified, totaling 8,000 megawatt, with 50 being shortlisted for exploration, contributing to an estimated about 20 megawatt of renewable hydropower. Hydropower has been central to Sarawak energy transition. The hydropower dam Sarawak energy built today will last for centuries, providing an abundant supply of affordable, reliable electricity for generations to come, while also contributing to flood mitigation, aquaculture, and ecotourism. Our first hydroelectric plant, Batang Air, was commissioned in 1985 and continues to deliver benefit not just in renewable energy generated, but also habitat protection and tourism value, delivering economic benefit to the lakesides and upstream communities. It is one of the few places in the world where the orangutan population is sustaining. When all hydropower projects in Sarawak are developed, the new lakes that are formed will cover around 200,000 hectares of land, equivalent to just 2% of Sarawak total land area, indicating that hydropower development in a land is a land efficient way to bolster economic growth. Each project has also been a tremendous learning experience in sustaining and giving us the confidence to share our experience. Okay. So I have a long way to go, but only less than half to go, so I will speed up a bit. Yeah. Renewable energy, by extension, renewable power continues to be central to Sarawak post-pandemic development. Under this digital economy, sustainability, and renewable energy were identified as key enablers to Sarawak to reach high income status by 2030. Renewable energy, by extension, under score, first identified under score. Sarawak ongoing planned energy transition is clearly captured in this development strategy. That's what will drive private sector participation, facilitating development of other renewable energy like solar, floating solar, biomass, hydro, mini hydros, green energy agenda to stimulate the Sarawak hydrogen economy, incorporate electric vehicle into Sarawak transportation sectors, and introduce net metering. Regional interconnection to export our renewable energy across Borneo. Green energy agenda to stimulate. So for hydrogen economy, you also require power, and that is where I think we play a role in that development of hydrogen economy. Sarawak Energy is progressing the energy transition. And is to turn strategy and potential into reality. So I think, as I mentioned earlier, bold leadership collaboration is what we needed to accelerate because climate change is not going to happen. It has happened, and we need to accelerate our action. Before I show more about strategy, let me share you about who we are as Sarawak Energy. Sarawak Energy has been around long, recently celebrating 100 years of powering Sarawak. A vertically integrated developer. We serve with a workforce of 5,400, and we serve population of 3 million in Sarawak, with about 740,000 customers. Celebrating 100 years of powering Sarawak, and we need to a vertically integrated developer. To the next slide. With our transformation, yeah, our transformation truly accelerated in the past. 3 million. Also, since the launch of SCORE, with about where we began to take holistic view of energy development to balance energy security, sustainability, and affordability to drive social economic transformation. Yeah. In the past, 3 million. Also, since the launch of SCORE, with about where we began to take holistic view of energy development to balance Sarawak Energy has a balanced generation mix that is predominantly renewable hydropower, maintaining indigenous gas and coal for security of supply. Yeah, we also advanced research into alternative renewable energies like solar. How we're going to develop large-scale solar. We have set up a team to look into development of large-scale solar, floating solar, and how we integrate it into our networks. Yeah. Like solar. How we're going to develop large-scale solar. We have set up a team. So if you see our Sarawak Energy transition in 2010 till to that, from 1,000 over megawatt to over 5,000, and moving forward, we continue to grow as we can see that the demand for power in Sarawak will increase, but we will maintain a strategic mix of our generation. We will endeavor to maintain at least minimum of over 60% hydropower going forward, but we will look at other hydropower, other power fuel as well to ensure that there's a security of power. We'll look at biomass and solar going forward as well. Minimum of over 60% hydropower going forward, but we will look at so this is our dam, Batang Air, Bakun, Murun, and Baleh is under construction now. Expected commercial operation date by 2027. Okay. So my time is up, so I will just glance through a few more slides, and I guess I have to finish. So this is our carbon footprint. You can see that what we're trying to say here is as we, move from fossil to hydrocarbon, you will you will reduce your carbon footprint, and I think that's, as mentioned by YB just now, that's the reason why we are here today. Yeah. So this is our carbon. Just flip through my slide since my time is up. So these are our power plants in Kudurong, our gas combined cycle power plant. And I think that's, yep, I think just want to share that we also have already exported power to West Kalimantan in 2016. Flip through my slide since my time is up. And we have recently signed a power exchange agreement with Sabah. So we are extending our grid to the northern part of Sarawak. Once that is completed, we will be able to have a power exchange with our neighbor, Sabah. Yep. Okay, I will just skip through that. I think this is, as mentioned earlier, Sarawak aspire to be a renewable energy powerhouse, not only within the context of Borneo, but within the Asian region. So we, I think this is, we are embarking on a joint venture projects in northern Kalimantan to develop the hydropower there. We are quite in advanced stage on developing one of them, over 1,000 megawatt, Mantarang Indo. And that is to drive their economic, what they call that, zone as well. And there are feasibilities and discussion now for other interconnection with other regional area. For example, we are quite in deep discussion with Singapore as well. Yeah. So idea is to have this as part of an Asian interconnection. We should be able to support every region in their quest, for renewable, developing more renewable energy and reducing carbon footprint and contributing to, climate change action. I think because of time, I'll probably stop here. Yeah. Quest, for renewable. Probably that gives you a bit of flavor of what we're doing in Sarawak and Sarawak Energy Action. Bahat, yeah, I think SEB. Because of time, okay, I'll probably stop here. I guess I have to stop here. My time is up. Probably that gives you a bit of flavor of what we're doing in Sarawak and Sarawak Energy Action. Bahat, yeah, I think
Thank you very much, IR Bonyak, for such an inspirational speech. So listening to this talk as well as the other talks this morning has indeed reaffirmed our decision to host this international conference on clean energy in the land of Sarawak. Yeah. And thank you very much also to Sarawak Energy Berhad for being part of our event. So allow me to now welcome if there is any questions from the floor, from the audience. So please do not hesitate. This is your chance, to post any question or your curiosity to IR Bunya, our speaker for this session. Please welcome. So allow me to now yes, please. If there is any questions from the floor, from the audience.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Could you briefly tell us how the government is making the policies to to encouraging renewable energy in Sarawak?
So allow me to
Yeah.
now.
So
Yes, please. If there is any question from
if
the
we,
floor, from the
so
audience,
what I
Thank you very
shared
much
earlier
for your
is
presentation. Could you
Sarawak
kindly
actually started
tell
this
us
journey
how
in
the government is making the
2010,
policies to encouraging
uh,
renewable energy in
where they
Sarawak?
launched SCORE, to develop our renewable energy to drive socio-economic in Sarawak. I shared earlier is And then, Sarawak of course, actually started this now journey in in 2021, they launched 2010, the
Encouraging
post-pandemic
renewable energy.
where they launched strategy. SCORE, But to develop our renewable energy to drive the socio-economic the leadership of the Sarawak government is always there and then since of course 2010, even now in until today. 2021 they Yeah, launched and the and post-pandemic the strategy, policy is is supporting green energy, the post-pandemic 2021 strategy, which was launched. Yeah, I think that is the policy statement, how they will support the what do you call that, digitalization, renewable energies, and climate change action, taking bold leadership. That's what our YB Deputy Minister mentioned, that our Premier is a, what do you call that, visionary and transformational leadership. And I think, he set the scene and everybody had to work very hard, yeah, otherwise, to achieve his aspiration and vision for people of Sarawak and the world. Yeah, Deputy Minister mentioned that our Premier
Okay, thank you so much,
is a,
Arbunya. We have
call
like
that,
one more
visionary and transformational leadership. And I think,
an
he
opportunity for
set the
one
scene
more
and everybody
short
had to
question
work
from
very hard,
the
yeah,
floor.
advice,
Okay, yes.
to achieve his aspiration and vision for people of Sarawak and the world. Yeah, Deputy Minister mentioned that our Premier
Okay, thank you so much,
Yeah, so
Arbunya.
your
We have
net
like
energy
one
metering is
more
not part of your green agenda. Now, if
an
for
opportunity for
household,
one more short
dia
question from
nak dia
the
pasang
floor.
solar,
Okay,
can you
yes.
get sambung masuk dalam grid
Mhm.
so that they can get
Yep.
the net energy metering. Is it allowable in
Yeah.
Sarawak now?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Arbunya.
So
We have like
this is
one more
the strategy by the state government. It is
an
part of
opportunity
the
for one more
strategy.
short
Yeah.
question from
So
the floor.
I think question whether it's
Yes.
allowed or not. I think that is
So that they can
the direction of
get
the
net energy metering.
state government.
Is it allowable in Sarawak now?
We are not. So we need more work to do in that area. By the state government. This year, for example, we embark on I think question 2 or whether 3 it's other allowed or not. I think that people is with experience, the direction of consulting the bodies, state government.
Is
countries,
it allowable in
to
Sarawak?
look into We how we are not. integrate solar We need or more work biomass, to do in or that area. or even all this This household year, for example, into we our embark on I think network. 2 or 3 So other we're open for that. people with We are doing experience, that study. consulting bodies, so
Is it allowable in
to
Sarawak?
look into, yeah, indeed, that is the direction of the future, because we need to be energy efficient as well. Not just talk about generation, but how do we use it? How do we interconnect it with the grid? And how do we, provide that supply to even the remote rural areas in Sarawak as well? Yeah, indeed, that is the direction of the future. Yeah. Because we So need to be energy efficient I would as say well. that for Not just talk ACB, about generation, but that is an area that we are also exploring. Yeah. how do we, provide that supply
Okay, thank you
to
so much.
even the remote
Okay,
rural
I
areas
I
in Sarawak
believe
as
that
well.
there are more other burning questions here from the other audiences that they would
So
like to ask, but unfortunately
I
we
would say
have
that
to end our
for
session now.
ACB,
So thank you very much to
that is
Arbunya
an
for the
area that
great
we
speech,
are
and also to the
also
audiences for
exploring.
your attention. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, I believe that there are more
We
other
invite
burning questions
Chairperson
here from the
Associate
other
Professor IR
audiences
Dr.
that
Mimi
they would like
Haryani
to ask,
Hashim
but
to
unfortunately
give a
we have
token
to
of to
end
the
our session
plenary
now.
speaker
So thank you
IR
very much to
Boniar.
Arbunya for the great speech, and also to the
Please give a big
audiences for
round of
your
applause, guys.
attention. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay, I believe that there are more
We
other
invite
burning questions
Chairperson
here from the
Associate
other
Professor IR
audiences
Dr.
that
Mimi
they would like
Haryani
to ask,
Hashim
but
to
unfortunately
give a
we have
token of
to
to
end
the
our session
plenary
now.
speaker
So thank you
IR
very much to
Boniar.
Arbunya for the great speech, and also to
Please
the
give a big
audiences for
round of
your
applause, guys.
attention. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe that there are more
We
other
invite
burning
Chairperson
questions here from
Associate
the other
Professor IR Dr.
audiences that
Mimi
they would like
Haryani
to ask,
Hashim.
but
Thank you very
unfortunately
much,
we have to
Associate
end our
Professor
session now.
IR Dr.
So
Mimi
thank you very much
Haryani
to
Hashim.
Arbunya
And our plenary speaker, IR Bunyak Munyong.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, next, for our fourth plenary session, we would like to invite Dr. Floriana Michael to chair this
Thank you very
plenary
much,
session.
Associate Professor
Please
IR,
welcome.
Dr. Mimi Haryani Hashim, and our plenary speaker, IR Bunyak Munyong.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning and
Next,
salam
for our
sejahtera.
fourth plenary session, we would
This
like
is
to invite
indeed a
Dr.
very
Floriana
historical
Michael to chair
day
this
for
plenary session.
Sarawak,
Please
and
welcome.
we are feeling so honored representing UNIMAS today to coordinate together, to collaborate with UTM. So thank you, UTM. Okay. I am honored to introduce Mr. Sani Minhas, okay, for our fourth plenary speaker. Mr. Sani Minhas is an associate director at Intertech Testing, and in his current position in Intertech, he is responsible for Intellect's global hydrogen and fuel cell business, including all testing, certification, and global commercial activities that are related to the hydrogen and fuel cell industry. With over 10 years of regulatory and compliance experience, Mr. Sani has helped Intertech develop into one of the world's most trusted testing and certification agencies in the hydrogen industry. And at Intertech, he has helped develop innovative and customer-centric regulatory approval programs for hydrogen and fuel cell-related equipment, including the testing and certification of hydrogen refueling stations, electrolyzers, and high-pressure components. We are delighted to have Dr. Anand Shankran. He's the Vice President of Human Resource and Director of Sustainability and Business Strategy, Asia Pacific, to open the floor for Intellect plenary session. Electrolyzers, and high-pressure components. We are delighted to have Dr. Anand Shankran. He's the Vice President of Human Resource and
Thank you,
Director
ma'am, for the
of
introduction.
Sustainability and Business Strategy.
It's somewhere
Asia
between
Pacific,
Salamat Pagi
to
and
open the
Salamat
floor
Petang,
for
seeing the
Intellect
time.
plenary
So
session.
I wish you both good morning and early good afternoon and a good day from Australia, which is a country where I come from. It is an honor and privilege to be here in Sarawak, and I want to take 60 seconds to share with you why I feel it's a privilege to be here. I work with 13 countries and the governments of 13 countries in Asia Pacific, and all major petroleum companies, energy companies in Asia Pacific. And I want to take 60 seconds. They all have plans. They all have grand plans for 2050, 2030, and they are doing little things, working with the United Nations, working locally, working in the region. The last 48 hours I have spent in Kuching, meeting some of your ministers, which is a privilege, and meeting many CEOs, has shown me that Sarawak is not just talking, they are doing. And I mean it. There is statistics to prove 75% of the energy in ASEAN countries is renewable. That's the only state in any Asia Pacific country which is doing this. You're already going green. You've got renewable energy. You're looking at solar energy. You've made investments in 5 major hydro projects. I don't see Sarawak just being a leader in Malaysia. I see Sarawak being an energy leader for the world. So congratulations to all of you. That's why it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be here today. So let me in 5 major hydro projects. I don't see Sarawak just being a leader in Malaysia. I see Sarawak being an energy leader for the world. So congratulations to all of you. That's why the kind lady who introduced me also talked about Sunny Minaz, who's my colleague. He's the head of renewable energy for Intertech globally. He's based in Toronto, in Canada, and he will be joining virtually. So we'll be doing a recording and a live session with my colleague Sunny. Okay, so before we jump into the hydrogen strategy and portfolio of Intertech, I just want to talk about Intertech for a minute or two. In Canada, and he will be joining virtually. So we'll be doing a recording and a live session with my colleague Sunny. Okay,
Yeah,
so
move.
before we jump into
Next.
the hydrogen
Next.
strategy and portfolio,
Yep.
so we've been in existence for over 130 years, and Intertech's mission since its inception has been bringing total quality to life. But more recently, we have evolved and transformed into so a we've been in sustainability existence for organization. over And one of the number one 130 agenda years, items for us globally and is to bring Intertech's quality and mission since sustainability to its life. So we inception has work been in all bringing areas total of quality. sustainability, including energy. And that's But the more reason why we are so recently, keen to we be have part of Sarawak's evolved and plans. We transformed have into a over sustainability 30, organization. over And one of 3,000 the number auditors one who do agenda items for us certifications across the globally world. is to We are bring present in quality over and 150 sustainability to markets, life. So we work in 45,000 all plus areas employees, of global sustainability, footprint. including energy. We And work that's the across reason why we are so 16 keen to be part of industries Sarawak's and plans. every We single have sector over of 30, testing in the world, over whether it's 3,000 food, auditors who do clothing, certifications energy, across the world. fuels, We are biofuels, present in over fossil fuels, 150 markets, minerals, 45,000 agriculture. plus We are employees, there in the testing global services. footprint. Next We slide, work please. across 16 We are not industries new to and Malaysia. every We've single been sector of in testing the in the country world, whether for it's a food, fair amount of time. clothing, You can see our energy, footprint in fuels, Malaysia biofuels, is pretty fossil broad, fuels, and we've been operating in minerals, Malaysia since agriculture. 1967. We are there in the Um, testing we've services. got Next several certified slide. laboratories. We We are are member not of new every to key Malaysia. major We've association been certifying body in Malaysia. in the country We've got for 18 a fair offices amount of time. You and can see various our footprint technical in and Malaysia testing is laboratories, and pretty including we broad, work and we've been for operating in Malaysia energy since companies here 1967. in Malaysia. We've got several We certified have a very laboratories. sharp and We are specific member of focus every now on key Sarawak major association because of certifying what the body in government is Malaysia. doing We've and got how the 18 private sector in offices Sarawak and is investing various technical and in testing hydrogen and laboratories, and clean energy including we work strategy. So for there's a lot of focus that energy Intertech companies here has in Sarawak part of Malaysia. Next slide, please. We have a very sharp and Last but specific not the focus least, now on we Sarawak have been because of known what the to be an government is doing inspection and how the private sector in certification Sarawak is organization. investing So in the in TIC hydrogen industry, and testing, clean energy inspection, and strategy. So there's a certification, lot of we focus that now Intertech bring has in assurance Sarawak to part the of mix Malaysia. Next slide, and please. become the only global organization in the world that provides assurance, testing, inspection, certification end-to-end in hydrogen solutions. So we partner with governments and energy organizations when they are creating a hydrogen strategy. Then we get involved in plant design, equipment certification, people capability, safety, health and safety, assurance, certification required to operate a plant, ensuring that the plant productivity, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, and fail-safe measures for business continuity in plants. So that's the level of involvement we have in the hydrogen life cycle strategies of governments and organizations. Now, I don't want to steal Sunny's thunder here, so I will now introduce my colleague Sunny to take you through the details of Intertech's hydrogen solutions. So that's the level of involvement we have in the hydrogen life cycle strategies of governments and organizations. Now, I don't want to steal Sunny's thunder here.
Thanks,
So I
thanks,
will
Anand.
now introduce my
I think
colleague
we'll be
Sunny to take you
showing
through the
the
details of
pre-recorded
Intertech's hydrogen
presentation. So if you can
solutions.
bring that.
So that's the level of
Thanks, Anand. Thanks for the introduction. And thank you, everyone, for this opportunity. Thank you for the ICCE for the opportunity for us to present our innovative and exciting new platform for the hydrogen industry. So today we'll discuss. Thanks, Anand. Thanks for the introduction. And thank you, everyone, for this opportunity. Thank you for the ICCE. Thanks, Anand. Thanks for the introduction. And thank you, everyone, for this opportunity. Thank you for the ICCE for the opportunity for us to present our innovative and exciting new platform for the hydrogen industry. So today we'll discuss the platform and go over some of the details, and then have some time at the end for question and answers. Full disclosure, I am dealing with a case of COVID, so my apologies if you hear me coughing or taking a quick moment to pause as I take a sip of water. But again, thanks again for having us here today. So Intertech Hydrogen, what it is our global end-to-end solution to provide quality, safety, and sustainability solutions for the hydrogen industry. What we have done is created a ATIC, so an assurance, testing, inspection, and certification platform that helps provide our customers with our unmatched access to our expertise and our global end-to-end risk-based quality, safety, and sustainability solutions. And what we really want to achieve is creating partnerships with our customers to help them advance in the hydrogen sector and successfully develop and execute hydrogen-based projects, and help them navigate the complex regulatory requirements and safety challenges they face with the hydrogen projects. So really what we've done is created this platform and leveraged the different aspects and value propositions that Intertech gives to our customers, and is able to really help with our customers' projects and overall energy transition. So looking at being a single source partner for all of their hydrogen projects from end to end. It doesn't matter if it's for hydrogen production or end use applications. We want to be their partner and help them with all of their projects and all their regulatory and compliance solutions. So we are leveraging our global network of labs and experts, and really being able to help our customers from end to end and developing solutions that give them a quick market entry and a sustainable and efficient way to create their hydrogen solutions and strategies. We leverage our we leverage our DNA in the energy industry. So Intertech has a long-standing history in the energy industry, and we provide unwavering support for our customers. And we want to leverage this to help our customers with their net zero goals and help them through the energy transition. Also with foresight and innovation, developing solutions for the hydrogen industry and being innovative and being able to help customers through the complex regulatory and compliance side of things. It has been at the forefront for us. So helping them do this and developing this ATIC platform really executes that in a way that we think is very innovative for this industry. And then peace of mind, being able to help our customers, again, with end-to-end solutions and being able to work with a company like Intertech that has a global network of labs and experts in the hydrogen industry really is something that we think provides a sincere value to our customers in this industry. And then peace of mind. So this slide really kind of gives an overview of our different services, and we'll get more into our ATIC services for hydrogen project life cycles, but this gives a good overview of the hydrogen industry and looking at the four main segments, but that's production, storage, distribution, and end-use application. Within each of these segments, what we've listed out here are different products or projects, and then below that are the different services that we can offer. So for example, for hydrogen production, if we're looking at electrolysis, so renewable hydrogen or blue hydrogen through carbon capture storage. The different services we can offer are anything from auditing, risk assessment and HAZOP and hazard studies, surveying environmental and testing and certification. Then we get into storage and distribution, and then finally into end-use applications. So with fuel cells or looking at hydrogen refueling stations or any type of stationary backup fuel cell power, we can provide things such as material testing, notified body services, so ATEX, certified body services, ICCE, performance testing, regulatory and design consulting through our assurance division, and then again, product testing and certification. And this is what we really envision as being the connected hydrogen life cycle, and how Intertech is able to provide solutions throughout this life cycle and help our customers. So what we've done is we've kind of split this into excuse me, into production, storage, distribution, and end-use application. And through this, we've created different interactive touch points that really show the different solutions and products that we're able to test and certify. So here we look at hydrogen production and the different types of services we offer, such as auditing, vendor surveillance, risk assessment, and then also we look into things such as pressure equipment directive and ASME certification. And then when we click out of this and we go down the chain and we look at things such as electrolysis and specific products, this gets into some of the services that we offer for electrolyzers or electrolysis systems. So product testing and certification, component testing, high pressure component testing, ATEX, product design consulting, and then we also touch on some of the standards that are used globally and then in certain regions such as North America. So globally we use ISO 22734, and we also look at functional safety standards such as IEC 61508. And finally, we'll look at things such as end-use applications such as refueling stations. So if we click on this refueling station here, looks at the different types of products that are tested and certified and the services that we're able to offer, whether it's vendor inspections, vendor surveillance, site permitting, and site feasibility studies, risk assessments, and product testing and certification. Moving on, this gives an overview of our ATIC solutions for a hydrogen project lifecycle. So looking at development, materials, products and procurement, manufacturing, construction and distribution, and then operations. So the entire ATIC model, and this is the platform that we've created for our customers so that they're able to kind of pick and choose what they need out of this as they're developing their hydrogen projects. And this really can go for different types of hydrogen projects, whether it's a full hydrogen plant, production plant, or it's a network of hydrogen refueling stations, or it can work for stationary or mobile fuel cells. So, excuse me, looking at assurance, different services that we offer, including product design consulting. So if you're developing a product and you need help from Intertech to understand what type of components to use or what standards and regulations you're going to be tested to or need to meet for certain countries and certain authorities, then we're able to assist with that. Asset performance management, supply chain development, surveying environmental. Then as we get down the chain, we can look at manufacturing and construction and operations, things like auditing, vendor and site, expediting, code compliance, whether that's on the product side or on a specific site. And then as we get down through our testing, inspection, and certification, various different types of testing we can perform through our global network of labs, whether it's looking at electrical safety testing, EMC testing, environmental, non-destructive testing, and then getting into inspections and certification. So providing factory audits and doing inspections at the vendor site or at the manufacturing facility, and then finally into certifications, whether it's ETL, which is our North American mark, CB scheme, notified body directive for EU directives, various different certifications that we can offer throughout the entire hydrogen life cycle. So this is going into some of our hydrogen testing in terms of pressure testing, and then also touching on some of the plans that we have for different types of feedstock and hydrogen purity testing. So currently we've partnered with a few labs, one in North America, in Canada, and then another lab in Munich, Germany, that is able to provide high pressure testing using hydrogen and various different other material testing that we're able to offer at both of the facilities. So from a vehicle standpoint, looking at receptacles, tanks, and valves, then getting into the refueling station with valves, sensors, breakaways, hoses, and nozzles. We're able to use hydrogen to do this testing and other gases. So really able to help our customers meet these global standards and be able to show that their product can perform and is safe when they are installing these at different stations and different applications. Then getting into component testing, as we mentioned, so manual and automatic valves and different types of pressure and temperature sensors, and then material testing, so permutation measurement, hydrogen compatibility testing, oxygen aging, and ozone compatibility. And then looking at tank testing, subscale single tanks and different types of tanks and storage systems. So permeability, moisture testing. For single tanks, we can do hydraulic testing, hydrogen gas test, and destructive testing. And then for tanks and full storage systems, we can develop with our partners customized hydrogen test solutions for those full tank systems and storage systems. Some of the stuff that we're able to do and now moving into developing with other labs and in terms of investment, we're looking at developing our hydrogen purity testing for different levels of hydrogen purity and different to meet different global standards. Also looking at ammonia testing that we're able to do for feedstock plant trials also, so hydrogen purity, ammonia, H2 material compatibility, and then for production, looking at testing the purity of hydrogen, so hydrogen that's going into either a fuel cell vehicle or being used in other different industrial applications. There are standards that apply, so Intertek is going to be investing in this type of testing, looking at different regions around the world to be able to add this testing capability, and then hydrogen sampling. So we're also going to be able to meet the ASTM codes for hydrogen sampling for different types of field applications for hydrogen. So really for the customer, the benefits that we're able to provide is to be that total end-to-end strategic partner to provide safety, sustainability, and quality solutions, providing risk management solutions for the hydrogen economy. So as we touched on, hydrogen production, delivery, infrastructure, storage, fuel cells, and multiple end-use applications to help our customers ensure that they're able to meet those different regulatory and safety requirements. And for science, and now moving into some case studies and science-based customer excellence solutions that we provide our customers, looking at being able to leverage our highly qualified team of experts, focusing on our strong experience in the hydrogen industry, and also providing bespoke solutions and innovative solutions. So looking at hydrogen refueling stations, we've been working with the customer on over 50 hydrogen refueling stations and providing different types of support. That's product design review, verification and consulting, and testing and certification. We were able to work with a long-standing customer of ours, PDC Machines, on doing testing and certification for the first public refueling station in Australia, providing IECEX certification and also providing some design consulting for that refueling station. And then also working with Air Liquide and the DOE on a mobile refueler that we had done with them, providing design verification, identifying non-compliances and different types of testing solutions, and then overall testing and evaluation of the mobile refueler. And then finally working with one of our customers on a large 5 megawatt electrolyzer, helping with product design, stack testing, and then overall project management and testing and certification for this product. So really, I hope we were able to go over our Intertek hydrogen platform and show what kind of value this can bring to the hydrogen industry. We thank you for inviting us here. We're fully committed to helping promote the industry and help the industry provide quality, safety, and sustainability solutions through our different business lines. If there are any questions, please let us know. I'm happy to answer any questions. And again, thank you for your time today. Inviting us here. We're fully committed to helping promote the industry and help the industry provide quality, safety, and sustainability solutions.
Thank you for the impressive presentation on your services. I'm sure we have learned one or two of the services they have offered. So if you need them, you know where to look for them. Right. So we have 5 minutes for Q&A session. So we can allow for a maximum of two. Impressive presentation. Yeah, two Q&A. So if there's anyone that has any question, the floor is yours. They have offered. So if you need them, you know where to look for them. Any questions from the floor? Right. So we have 5 minutes for Q&A session. So we can allow for a maximum of two. Oh, we have one. Okay, great.
Hello, I'm Azrin from University Kebangsaan Malaysia. May I know what is the inspection that your company provide for the fuel cells and what kind of certification for fuel cells? Thank you.
So we have
Oh, we have one.
fuel
Okay, great.
test, fuel cells, physical
Hello, I'm
testing
Nazrin
and
from
certification
University Kebangsaan
across
Malaysia.
the world. We
May I know
offer
what
every
is the
possible ISO
inspection that your
certification
company
in
provide
fuel
for
cell
the fuel
testing.
cells,
If
and
there is a
what kind of
specific need
certification
in
for the fuel
regulated
cells?
countries such as Malaysia could have local regulations, our local body would do that certification as well. So physical testing, design testing, performance testing and certification across all types of fuel cells we provide across the world.
Regulated
And I'm more than happy to talk to you offline and put you in touch with the concerned people in Malaysia.
Physical testing, design testing,
Okay.
And thank you for the question.
Great. We have one more.
types of fuel cells we provide across the world.
We can take one more
And
question.
I'm more than happy to
Any?
talk to you offline and put you in touch with the concerned people in Malaysia.
Oh, we have one more. Yeah, there. Okay.
And thank you for the question.
Great. We have one more.
Types of fuel cells we provide across the world.
We can take one more
And
question.
I'm more than happy to
Any?
talk to you offline.
Okay, I'm done. Okay, I just want to, since
Oh, we have
hydrogen
one.
will be
Yeah,
in the
there.
future type of fuel, now we have a diesel car, whatever.
We have one
You
more.
have you any experience that people using special carburetor that they can use hydrogen, natural gas, and diesel, and you have certified that sort of thing? Since hydrogen will be in the future.
Sorry, could you repeat the last part of your question?
Now we have a diesel car. Have you any experience that they provide a carburetor for the car? People you can use three type of fuel, for example. Can use hydrogen, natural gas,
So is that
and diesel.
Yes.
so was the question if a car, do we have any experience with a car being able to use three types of fuel?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you any certification for that? Provide a carburetor for the car.
No. So it typically, when we talk about what hydrogen vehicles, what's traditionally been happening is fuel cell electric vehicles. But what we are now seeing and seeing more products and innovation around is hydrogen combustion. So using either 100% hydrogen or using a blend of hydrogen and natural gas for hydrogen combustion. So when it comes to, let's say what we may see in the future when it comes to the airline industry or even some vehicles, there will be engines or hydrogen combustion, but that'll be at 100% hydrogen. When we talk about blends, we are working with a few utility companies and other customers who are looking at blending hydrogen with natural gas. So whether it be a 20% blend all the way up to 50%, and then maybe even get to 100% hydrogen, but we're seeing that in turbines or in more so with generators or gensets. But for cars or automotive, you would see either a fuel cell or you're going to see if 100% hydrogen combustion. We haven't seen anything with a blend of three different types of fuels at this point.
So thanks, Sunny. I just build on that. We have a vertical that works with transportation. It's called Transportation Technologies, and we work with the automotive sector. So while we don't certify hybrid fuels, we test every kind of fuel. So whether it's octane levels in petrol or diesel or jet propulsion fuels and hydrogen as a fuel. So we do specific fuel testing for every type of fuel while we don't do a combined certification. If that answers the question.
Hybrid fuels, we test.
I think we are out of time.
Yeah.
I just want to make one comment, if I may, please.
Oh, yes.
The minister who was here this morning mentioned why we are here because of climate change. I think that's a really powerful statement he made. But what you're doing here in Sarawak and Malaysia is not just dealing with climate change. You are not just dealing with climate change. You are creating a sustainable planet for the future. That's why we are here. And that's why we at Intertech are a sustainability-driven organization. So it resonates very strong with the purpose of what Sarawak is doing. Thank you very much for the questions, for attending this session. We are here at the booth with my colleagues, technical experts. If there are any questions we can answer regarding hydrogen or energy solutions, we'd be very happy to do so. Thank you very much. With the purpose of what Sarawak is doing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the
Thank you,
questions,
Dr.
for
Anand,
attending the session.
and also
We are
Mr.
here at the
Sani
booth
for
with my
the time
colleagues,
taken to
technical
participate
experts.
in the
If there are any
conference.
questions
With
I
this,
can answer
we will end this
regarding
plenary
hydrogen or
session.
energy
Thank you so
solutions,
much.
we'd be very happy to do so. Thank you very much. With the purpose of what Sarawak is doing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the
Thank you,
questions.
Dr.
Okay,
Anand.
so we invite
and also,
Chairperson
Mr.
Dr.
Sani
Floriana
for
Michael
the
to
time
give a
taken
token of
to participate in the
appreciation
conference.
to Dr.
With this,
Anand
we
Shankaran,
will
which will
end
be
this
received on
plenary
behalf of
session.
Mr. Sani
Thank you so
Minhas.
much.
Please welcome them.
Thank you very much. With the purpose of what Sarawak is doing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the
Thank you, Dr. Anand.
Okay, so we invite Chairperson
Mr.
Dr.
Sani
Floriana
for
Michael
the
to
time
give a
taken
token of
to participate in the
appreciation
conference.
to Dr.
With this,
Anand
we
Shankaran,
will
which will
end
be
this
received on
plenary
behalf of
session.
Mr. Sani
Thank you so
Minhas.
much.
Please welcome them. Thank you very much, Dr. Floriana Michael, Dr. Anand Shankaran, and Mr. Sani Minhas for the insightful talk.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we're delighted to inform you that we're about to enter the session that everyone is looking forward to. As scheduled, in this session, there will be three
Thank you
breakout
very much, Dr.
rooms
Floriana
with three
Michael, Dr.
parallel
Anand
sessions
Shankaran,
that
and
will move
Mr. Sani Minhas
simultaneously.
for the insightful
Therefore,
talk.
without further ado, all participants are invited to join the room as provided by the organizer. We wish all of you good luck for this session. Thank you, everyone, and best of luck.
There will be three
Thank you
breakout
very much, Dr.
rooms
Floriana
with
Michael,
three
Dr.
parallel
Anand
sessions
Shankaran,
that
and
before you
Mr.
move
Sani
on,
Minhas.
I would like to remind you
Therefore,
guys
without
that
further
breakout
ado,
room 1
all
will be in
participants
this
are
meeting
invited
room.
to join the
Breakout
room
room
as
2
provided
will
by
be
the
in meeting
organizer.
room 2 and
We wish
3,
all
which
of
you will
you good
find
luck
there.
for this session.
And breakout room
Thank
3
you,
will be in
everyone,
meeting
and
room
best of
4
luck.
and
There
5.
will be three breakout
And a small announcement before we leave to the
Before you
breakout
move
room.
on, I would like
Lunch will
to
be
remind you
served at
guys
1
that
p.m.
breakout room
So
1
reminder
will
to
be in
all the
this meeting room.
participants to be
Breakout
at
room
main
2
hall
will be
8
in
for
meeting room
lunch,
2 and
and
3.
all the
You will
UNIMA
find there.
students to be in
And
meeting room
breakout room
12
3
at
will
1
be in
p.m.
meeting
for
room
lunch.
4 and 5.
Thank you and good luck, everyone.
And a small announcement before we leave to the
Before you
breakout
move
room.
on, I would like
Lunch
to
will be
remind you
served at
guys
1
that
p.m.
breakout room
So
1
reminder
will
to
be in
all the
this meeting room.
participants to be
Breakout
at
room
main
2
hall
will
8
be in
for
meeting room
lunch,
2 and
and
3.
all the
You will
UNIMA
find there.
students to be in
And
meeting room
breakout room
12
3
at
will
1
be in
p.m.
meeting
for
room
lunch.
4 and 5.
Thank you and good luck, everyone.
And a small announcement before we leave to the breakout room. Lunch will be served at 1 p.m. So reminder to all the participants to be at main hall 8 for lunch, and all the UNIMA students to be in meeting room 12 at 1 p.m. for lunch. Thank you and good luck, everyone. And a small announcement before we leave to the breakout room. Lunch will be served at 1 p.m. So reminder to all the participants to be at main hall 8 for lunch, and all the UNIMA students to be in meeting room 12 at 1 p.m. for lunch. Thank you and good luck, everyone. And a small announcement before we leave to the breakout room. Lunch will be served at 1 p.m. So reminder to all the participants to be at main hall 8 for lunch, and all the UNIMA students to be in meeting room 12 at 1 p.m. for lunch. Thank you and good luck, everyone.